All right. Love the energy, guys. Love it, love it, love it. I want to make sure everybody started out today and they're awake, they're excited. We are going to have so many good gifts for you guys. First of all, welcome back. Today's day 3. We actually have a lot of material to go over today. I'm going to try to get through it as best as possible. I want you guys to make sure you guys understand. So don't forget to ask questions that are relevant to what I am discussing along the way. I'll do my best to keep my eyes on the chat to make sure we don't get anything missed. But don't worry, if we do miss a question, we're going to be doing another Q&A session at the very end. Matt is going to be copying and pasting your questions into the spreadsheet or into the Google Sheet, and that way we make sure we don't miss anything. So stick to the end. We're actually going to have, not only are we going to have our 10K giveaway, I'm actually going to be giving away prizes along the way. These prizes are actually, you guys are going to be able to utilize as PadSplit operators in your day-to-day business. So make sure you stay tuned to the very end if you guys want access to these prizes. Like I always say, make sure you also have your cameras on, you're interacting. If you want another 10 entries, we're going to be actually doing the giveaway at the very end, and we are going to be doing it live with you guys so you can see exactly who the winner is going to be of the giveaway. I want to start out by talking about what you guys' biggest takeaways were or was from yesterday. If you have a takeaway from yesterday, please drop it in the chat or just come on here live with me right now and tell me what your takeaway was. All right, Julie, let me know what your takeaway was. What was your big takeaway?
Hi, everyone. My biggest takeaway from yesterday, well, there's so much, but where do I start? I love the underwriting, Javier, and just going through and you showing us how you comp things.
Yep.
And I want to be, able to do the comps like you do very quickly. I
Mm-hmm.
love that you walk through the process where you actually, from the start, where you go into Zillow and you show us how you get the comps using the
Perfect.
studio
Yep.
versus bedroom, and then also where when Jose had his where you show how you walk the street and you caught on to showing us about the driveway and the different things. So there's so much that I don't think about, but it's really good to see that live view of you being, an expert at this, showing us that as well. So thank you. There's so much, but I'm sure there's others that want to share.
Yes.
So mine.
Yes. No,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And another takeaway, anyone raise your hand, come on here live. Let me know what your takeaway was from yesterday. It could be something small, it could be something big. It can actually just be a takeaway in your daily life, right? Maybe you had a ooh-ha moment after you got off the Zoom from yesterday. Does any else want to share their takeaway? And then I'm going to roll into the buy box. So get your
I'm
buy boxes ready and let me know. Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna I'm gonna speak up. I do have a takeaway, even though I'm the co-host of the event. There's a lot of stuff that I still don't know in regards to pass split and what to look for. But even when it comes to like deal underwriting and acquisitions, stuff that you went through, to be honest, like I never really understood the power of Google Maps.
Yeah.
I use Google Maps a little bit, especially when doing some pass split underwriting for like transit stuff. But when Javier, when you actually just like said drive the property on Google Maps, I was like, dang, I didn't even think of that.
That's
I
what
was like,
I
yeah, you
do.
could just drive the property on Google Maps.
I know.
Like, I don't even have to drive out to these places. Like, I didn't comprehend
Yep.
how easy it really can be. So that was a takeaway for me, is like, wow, use technology. And I'm a tech guy. I'm a geek. So
Yeah.
for me to not know that or to really make that realization, Javier, thanks for pointing that out. But that was a big takeaway for me yesterday.
Yeah. And a lot of times we overcomplicate things, guys. We don't realize it's that simple. Like literally copy and pasting, utilizing all this technology that we have at our fingertips. Remember, I've mentioned it a few times, like all of our time is valuable. We want to make sure that we are leveraging our time as much as possible. If you're in a market like California, it's very expensive. It's not a landlord friendly market. You're probably not going to do a pad split there, or maybe you will. I don't know. But if you're in a market, because everybody in this chat is in different markets, we have people from Canada, we have people from Florida, we have people from Texas, we have people from Washington, we have people all around in different markets. So you might be in a market that you don't want to invest into. I always recommend that you invest in your backyard because you have people, contractors there, boots on the ground there, yourself is there. But it's okay. What I'm teaching you is to teach you how to do this outside of your market if you need to. So great takeaway there, Matt. Let's roll into one more takeaway before we get started. I want you guys to get your guys' buy boxes ready. I want to review at least 3 buy boxes. Any other takeaways from yesterday, big or small?
I got one. The flood zones, you talked about the flood zones and checking the flood zones in Canada. We don't really have that. So I wasn't really thinking about that, especially like in the Florida market or anywhere, kind of Louisiana. There's a lot of flood markets or flood zones there. Appreciate that. And also just giving me permission about the PML and the PMP. I feel like when you hear like JV, I just automatically think 50-50 split, but that's not necessarily the case, right? It's about negotiating and finding out what your lender actually wants. Do they want cash flow? Do they just want to, set it and forget it? And so I appreciate hearing that, the 70-30 or the 60-40, like just giving me permission to negotiate in that way.
Absolutely. And there's no rules. That's the beautiful thing about it, right? You might talk to somebody and they want a 50-50 split. You might want to talk to somebody and they're okay with 70-30. But I think the most important thing is when you create that invest or that PML or PMP avatar of what you're looking for, then you get to be a little bit more crystal clear of the people you're actually going after to raise capital. Because really, you don't want to just try to raise capital for anyone. Is it going to be the 9-to-5ers? Is it going to be your high income earners like doctors, lawyers, stuff like that? An example. Is it going to be people in the tech industry? You want to be really crystal clear on who your avatar is when you're raising capital. That way, those are the people you can hone in and go after every single thing. When you're crystal clear on that, you can raise capital way better. So
yeah, that's killer. I'm in the software space. So like all my friends are independent consultants that make really good money, but like they're not doing anything with it. So I definitely have that avatar to go after,
So perfect. So that's one thing. Just like your buy box, you're going to create your lender avatar, your PML avatar, your PML and your PMP avatars are what you're going to create. And guess what? You're in the tech space. You're in that space already. So that's going to be the people you're going to go after, like the 9-to-5ers that have lazy capital, 401k that wished that they can be in real estate or didn't have the know-how. So right now, what are you doing? You're creating a skill set by being on the 3-day challenge. This skill set, you have a tool in your tool belt. You're going to be able to be more efficient when it comes to real estate investing. Whether you actually make PadSplit your exit strategy or not, at least you have it in your tool belt. Whether you took a lot of takeaways, big or small, you still have tons of ammo in your tool belt that you're going to be able to utilize for future investments. So that's a great way to great place to start is within your 9-to-5ers in your industry. Perfect. Great.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. And so I did see I was on Facebook really quick. By the way, guys, don't forget, we created a free Facebook group for this challenge. If you haven't already, Matt will drop the link in the comments. Make sure you join the free Facebook group. We got about 900 members in there, tons of real estate investors. Make sure you drop your buy box in that Facebook group, a free Facebook group we created. I want to actually chat with you really quick. I was in there just a second ago. I see you created your buy box. Let's talk about your buy box for a second. Can you kind of go over it with me?
Me? Yeah. So I forget. I've been trying to focus because I've been buy and holding all over because I've been only purchasing sub 2s, 3% or less. So I haven't been picky about location, but I understand obviously with PadSplit, I want to have, I kind of want to focus on one general area. I like Tampa because I feel like the ability to fill the rooms quickly is there. My first and I think I also put Dallas in my buy box. I've got something in Killeen, Texas. That's going to be actually my first PadSplit. It wasn't my intended PadSplit, but I'm acquiring it, so I'm gonna try PadSplit out there. And I think I might have put Orlando on there. I'm not sure what I put.
Hey, watch out! Get out of my market. No, I'm just kidding. You put, let's pull up your buy box really quick so we can see it. You put, if you have it pulled up here, you might get to it before I am.
I might. I got like 3 computers in front of me, so it's a little
wild.
Don't
worry. Listen, I got so many things running on the background right now, you wouldn't believe. So you put on your buy box. I'm going to review you guys her buy box really quick. She did the homework assignment. Your homework assignment, guys, yesterday was create a buy box. That way you can actually start going out, talking to wholesalers or start focusing on deals direct to seller. Okay. You put, is it Killeen, Texas?
Yep.
Tampa, Florida, Dallas, Texas.
Oh, see, I stayed out of your market. You're Orlando safe. Don't you worry.
Exactly. She put single family home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Year built 1990 or newer. Why'd you pick 1990?
Because I actually would have liked 2000 and better just because I want less less things breaking down. The properties I've been acquiring have been low equity. So a lot of them have been like literally 2020 or plus builds, which is kind of nice to see like new builds that are
Yes,
you know,
I
fresh
agree.
and clean. But I'm not opposed to doing renos, but I'd like to get into them, I guess, at a lower entry cost. So
Right. Perfect. You put creative only, subject to seller finance. You also put block, no frame. Why no frame?
So I guess if it's in Florida, understanding like the termite issue in Canada, everything here is pretty much frame. We don't have a lot of block builds, but it's good to learn about the differences. So yeah, so I'd say if it's possible to have a termite issue, I'd go block in the Florida market. But I don't know if Texas would have an issue with that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, like I said yesterday, I mean, I did start out one of my preferences in my buy box was having block properties, but I do own properties that are stucco wood frame, stucco finish, but are wood frame. So really the best thing to do as a real estate investor is make sure you're getting annual termite inspections. You should be doing this once a year for every single home that you own. You need to know if you have a termite problem, you need to remedy it right away. If it's a drywood termite problem, I'm not going to get too much into termites. You have a couple different species, but if you have drywood and you have subterranean, those are the most prevalent in here in Florida. In most markets, that's actually the most prevalent. Drywood are very slow eaters. You can actually go years and years and having these type of termites in your home without you doing anything and with them doing very minimum damage. Subterraneans are the ones you really want to worry about because they eat very fast. They can do damage, significant damage very fast. The way to remedy it, tent the home. All right. So let's see. You went wood frame, no septic systems. Why no septic systems?
Yeah, because just maintenance are not good for co-living, and I personally hate them.
Two. So I am not a big fan of septic systems, guys. There are a lot of properties that have septic systems. So just know and have expectation. If you are going to include a septic system in your buy box and it's okay with you to invest in a property as a septic system, just understand that it needs to be adequate for the size of home that you have. What does that mean? We talked about this yesterday. Just a real quick recap. You make sure that if you have a home that you're buying, let's say 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, 1950s, and it still has the same exact septic system back from the 20s, 30s, and 40s, you know that you need to upgrade your system. To upgrade a septic system is anywhere between $12,000 to $15,000. That's a lot of money, guys. So if you have that septic system, you need to know it's adequate because you're going to have 7, 8, 9 people living in this home. Remember, back in the day, they didn't have this many people living in one home. So if you're going to take down deals that have septic systems, you need to have expectations as an investor. Also, another rule of thumb, make sure you get those things inspected if you have a property that has a septic system. You need to know the functionality of it. You need to know how big the tank is and how big the drain field is, okay? Average tank size you really want, something's new, it's about 1,050 gallons. And then your drain field should be right around 300 to 400 square foot. Okay. This is adequate for 7, 8, 9 bedroom, 9 bedroom members in one home. You put no flood zones. You talked about that really quick. Again, recap from yesterday, guys. We talked about flood zones. If you're in a flood zone, you are going to have to carry flood insurance, especially if you have a property that has a mortgage on it. It is a requirement by the lender. If you're doing a seller finance deal and there is no bank involved, well, there's no actual big financial institution. It is not a requirement, but that doesn't mean that seller finance, that person who became the bank, that old tire lender who became the bank, who's actually the note holder, doesn't require it. Depends how you drafted up your mortgage and your note, what is requirements. You also talked about no HOA. Let's talk about that really quick. Guys, people who are just tuning in today and day 3, first of all, welcome. We talked about no HOAs. Why did you put no HOA in your buy box?
Because they just have rental restrictions, no short-term rental, or if they don't, they could add them and then your business is kind of shot. I've got a great property in Panama City, Florida, but it's an HOA. So it would be awesome for PadSplit, but it just can't be. So that's why it's a long-term rental, but yeah, sucks. They suck.
Absolutely. So great. So quick story that I shared yesterday as a recap. I spoke about the lady who reached out to me, who spent $90,000 only to find out 2 to 3 months later, she's being shut down by her HOA because she's doing it co-living in the community. I can't stress to you enough. If it's voluntary, if it's $5 a month, if it's $1 a month, if it's 50 cents a month, if it's 50 cents a quarter for the HOA fees, I don't care. Do not invest into HOAs. The covenants, The rules, the regulations, there's way too much restrictions. You will not scale this business model in there. I know people and operators in PadSplit who have them in HOAs, and the clock is just ticking before they get shut down. So if you want to scale a scalable business model, stay away from HOAs, period. So last but not least, you put light reno. So what's light reno to you as an investor?
For me, I'm good with, obviously I'm gonna have to put up some walls. I don't want to do bathrooms or kitchens, and I'm
Cool.
okay with like floors and paint.
Cool. So why does she not want to do bathrooms and kitchens, guys? Because remember, it's too much money. I showed you guys properties yesterday. If you're coming in renovating kitchens, if you're coming in renovating bathrooms, if you're doing these big renovations, you're going to be way too much money to deal. You're going to be like Jimmy. You're going to be over $100,000 in these deals. You really want to be max like 75 on the high end. You can get it done all day long. There's plenty of deals where you're not going to be over 75 on the high end. I really try to aim for like 60, 65,000 cash all in on the deal. Okay. And then you put 12 to 14%. Oh, you're looking for PML 12 to 14%. Perfect. We talked about PML yesterday, guys. If you're going to get a PML involved, you cannot go to the Gator community and say, hey, I want to borrow PML money. Yes, you can, but most of those guys are going to want their money back in 6 months, 12 months. You really want to look for capital, longer term capital, and that's why we're talking about the 9-to-5ers. Like she's working at a company where there's lots of 9-to-5ers. These people have 401ks that typically they're not even doing nothing. Actually, matter of fact, the next person you come across that has a 401k, ask them what their money's doing in the 401k. Majority of them don't even know where their money's at. It's in La La Land. So if you can go to them and structure a 12 to 14% return secured by the real estate with a note and a mortgage and a lien position on that real estate, they actually know where their money's at, how it's producing, it's predictable. And guess what? If you structure them as a PMP, they actually get upside, and they're also going to get 27.5-year depreciation. If you structure as a PML, they're only going to simply get a return on their money, private money lender. So she's looking for private money lending, and I'm sure you'll find some within the company that you're at. All right, so that's your buy box. Does anybody else want to share their buy box? I'll go through 2 more people really quick before we get into the recap of yesterday. In the side chat, we got floors as much needed as bathrooms. Okay, floors as much as a bathroom. Floors are as much as a bathroom, yes. So like Jimmy said, if you're going to do floors in a entire home, something else I don't do. I'll do like floors in the bathroom, or if a bedroom has carpet in it, I'll rip it out and redo just the floors in that bedroom. You're talking at like laminate, basic laminate or vinyl with install materials, everything. You're at like $6 a square foot. I mean, it's a lot of money for floors. All right, let's see. Anybody else have a buy box that they want to share? No one did their homework.
I do, but
All right,
I'm
cool.
on.
Julie, what's up, homie?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I am well. I'm well.
Sweet. So I see you just posted your buy box here. So you're focused in PA, right?
Yes, but I'm sure of that market because it's not on the PadSplit website. So I wanted you to walk through and analyze it for me.
So what does that mean? So let's see how well you're paying attention yesterday. If it's on the PadSplit website, what does that mean for you as an operator?
Well, they're not going to do the advertising for me.
Right. So you just can't use their marketplace. That doesn't mean you can't be a co-living operator. If you still see the vision in that market and you still want to be a co-living operator, that's perfectly fine. You just have to account for, you're going to have to do the credit check, the background check, the employment verification, all the advertising. You're going to have some type of platform to manage these people on, some type of CRM to manage these people on, you know? So you just have to have that expectations. Doesn't mean they're not coming to your market. They sure might be coming to your market. Who knows? We don't know the new markets they're going to open up. They don't tell us. I don't have a list of it, but right now that the markets they're in are the ones that are on their website. So if you guys want to be safe and play the safe card, make sure that you go in the markets that they're in. But like Jimmy yesterday, he's in the Daytona market. That's a newer secondary market for them, right? That market is not many pad splits in there. So he's going to actually be able to corner that market a little bit. He's in a great market too. You and PA, you're going to have to do every single thing in that market. Okay.
So do you recommend like staying away from that one for now and just going with like Atlanta, well, right outside of Atlanta, like
It,
around the 285
it,
like a mile out.
it depends on how much time you want to really allocate to this. I feel like me paying the fee that I pay them, it streamlines the process just so much. Plus, again, they're a company that has 200-300 employees that are focused on growing this company. Like they're worldwide. I don't know if you know that. They're really pushing out co-living and bedroom
Okay.
rentals, and I'm letting them do all that heavy lifting for me. I know how much heavy lifting is. To really answer your question is like, how much time do you really want to allocate to this? For me, I want this to be more of a semi-passive business and actually have a business versus like, oh man, this has become and own my life, you know?
Right.
I'm not really getting involved on the day-to-day stuff. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a second, guys. But yeah, it's really up to you and how much time you want to allocate to it.
I wanted Streamline, so I'll just move to the Atlanta market.
Yeah, and just keep your eyeballs on that market. Atlanta market is a fantastic market. It's actually the very first market, if I'm not mistaken, that they launched in was Atlanta. But you put PA 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2000 or newer. Why 2000 or newer?
Just don't want to deal with remodeling, and it's newer. Everything should be up to code. The electricals and plumbing and stuff like that.
Perfect. Creative or sub 2, so that's seller finance or subject to. Perfect. No HOA, no septic, no flood zone, right? Atlanta looks like, are you open to other markets in Georgia or just Atlanta?
Just Atlanta or around the 285, like could be 1 hour north, south, east, or west. So I looked at Decatur, Lawrenceville. I just did one with my partner. We bought one in out on the market, Lake Carrollton.
Okay.
So it should be up and running within 2 months.
Nice. Okay, cool. And then you have let's see, looking also for PMLs at 12%. Perfect. Awesome. So that's a good buy box. Great buy box, guys. Great buy box. Any questions on your buy box really quick before I get started?
Just one quick question. As far as like the funding, so working a W-2 9 to 5, I'm looking for that whale investor from what Pace is saying, right? So I just got to do my due diligence to find them, because would love, I heard, you mentioned, you can correct me, like we want somebody that can carry the funding for at least 2 to 3 years, correct?
Right. 24 to 36 months, obviously, because these are the people, like, again, those 9 to 5ers are okay with that. But if you start going into the Gator community, telling people, hey, I want long-term capital, most of them are telling you, hey, no, take a hike, right? Everybody wants short-term.
Sure. Okay. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's so to be able to find that whale investor, what you're saying is you need to be crystal clear on what your avatar investor looks like, right? If you want PMLs, you need to figure out, are you targeting like high income earners? Are you targeting people in the tech industry? Just like you have a buy box for your property, you need to have a buy box for your ideal investor avatar.
Oh man, awesome. Okay, we'll do.
Sweet, guys. All right, guys. So I'm going to get kicked off to day 3, guys. Today, like I said, today's the final day. Just a reminder, make sure you have your cameras on, make sure you're interacting, make sure you're asking questions. If you want to have extra 10 entries in today's $10,000 giveaway that we're doing at the very end, make sure that you're interacting. Matt is going to be writing down and following along with us. Remember, again, like I always say, if you have a question and it's relevant to what I'm speaking about, I'm going to answer it right away. If not, we're going to save it to the end. I'm going to keep my eyes on the chat as best as I can as I go through all this material. And like I always say, make sure you post up today if you feel like this has been a great value to you. Tag me in your storylines on Instagram and post and tag me, and we will get that reposted as soon as we can. So I'm going to go into, let's see, I'm going to go into day 3. So welcome back, guys. Like I said, to day 3, we are going to jump off really quick. I'm going to recap on what we discussed yesterday on day 2. So let's jump into the agenda. You guys should actually have this agenda in your emails. My team actually emailed it over to you. Check your emails. You should have day 1, day 2, and day 3 agendas by now. All the giveaways that we're going to give away is actually going to be at the end of today. So if you want to get the freebie gifts that I'm giving away, plus the 10K giveaway, make sure you stay to the very end. So yesterday we spoke about on day 2, we talked about buy box. Why is it essential to create that buy box? It's essential because we all know that us as real estate investors, we're getting inundated with real estate deals. We need to be able to eliminate all that noise. And not only that, you need to be crystal clear on the type of asset that you're looking to take down. Bedroom count, bathroom count. Is it a single family? Is it multifamily? The year bill, HOAs, flood zones. These are super essential to include in your buy box. That way you can stay streamlined when you're looking for acquisitions for your property. Once you have your buy box, you can actually now start going to scout out for deals. Now, scouting out for deals can look like maybe you're going direct to seller, right? Maybe you're pulling low equity lists and you're going direct to seller. Maybe you're going, you're pulling pre-foreclosure list, pennant list, and you're going directly to seller that way. If you have the time, the energy, the skill set to allocate toward going direct to seller, it's amazing. You can get deals literally for so cheap. I've seen entry fees as low as no money upwards to like max, let's say 20, 30K, right? Like these are great entry fees to get in some of these deals. But I have a lady I'm working with right now. She's willing to walk away from her house for $5,000. That is amazing. Where do you buy a house for $5,000 via subject to with a 3.75 interest rate? So that's direct to seller. But if you can't and don't have the skill set and the know-how to go direct to seller, that's perfectly fine. You can go into the Facebook groups. Like I said, if you go to creative Facebook group, if you go to the seller finance group, there's so many free groups online that you guys will have access to be able to take advantage of posting your buy box in. If you guys are just tuning in today, Matt Lopez, which is my back-end support, he's helped create all this, bring us all into this room. He's actually going to make a graphic of your buy box. So go into the free Facebook community that Matt will post into the chat. And when you go in there, he will make you a graphic for your buy box. Once you have that buy box posted, you guys can actually start going into these Facebook groups and posting your buy box and what market you're buying in. So we talked about creating that buy box. Once you just post your buy box into these groups or go direct to seller and you actually have a deal, all you're going to do, very simple, you're going to go over to Google Maps. Voila. Google does all the heavy lifting for you. You're going to copy and paste the address into the Google Maps. Okay. And guys, this is just a real quick recap of what we just spoke about yesterday. Just want to catch people up to speed. I see some people who are new in the chat and in the Zoom. So once you copy and paste that into Google, you're now going to do what's called a Google Street View. When you do the Google Street View, guess what? You don't have to hop in your car. You don't have to call anybody for boots in the ground. You're going to drive the neighborhood, take a look at the house from the exterior, look at the proximity to the restaurants, look at the proximity to the big employers, look at the proximity, hit the transit button at the very top, and you're going to see how far you are from bus stops. Remember, PadSplit is a business model that works in major metro areas. There are good secondary markets, and we talked about secondary markets yesterday. If you missed that, then that's your fault. So when you do that Google Map search, you're going to have an idea what the area is. Then you're going to go into your local market. Typically, all of them have websites of the biggest employers. Who are the biggest employers in your market? Is it Amazon? Is it Walmart? Is it school districts? Is it the hospitals? Who are your biggest employers? Know where they're at. How far is your property from these biggest employers? Do you have sidewalks to get to these biggest employers? Do you have transit systems to get to these big employers? How are people commuting in your market? Like I have a PadSplit in a market where there is no transit system, but I know as the operator, I'm only 1 mile walking distance with a sidewalk actually to get to all the major employers. So I was confident investing in that market, which is a secondary market. We talked about that yesterday. So once you're done doing that, you're also going to go into websites. What we spoke about yesterday. We spoke about Zillow, Realtor.com. You can go to Apartments.com. I love using Apartments.com. How do we come up with the value of what we charge per room? Well, if you guys remember yesterday, we looked at a floor plan of a property I acquired. That floor plan, I showed you exactly where I put the walls up and how I put the walls up and how you need to have 2 forms of egress per bedroom. And each bedroom needs to be a minimum of 80 square foot, which is super small. And to put things in perspective, a parking spot is about 120 square foot. I recommend you go bigger. That way you have your retention of that member in that room a lot longer. So once you know where to put your walls up and you know how many bedrooms you can make this home, and if you can't do that from online, what do? Does anybody remember what we do? How do we find the person to go to the property? In the chat, drop it in the chat. Let me know. Anyone? If you want someone to go to a property, how do you find them? If I live in California and I'm scaling my portfolio in Texas, how do I get somebody to walk a property? Boots on the ground. Perfect. You're going to go to your Facebook groups in those markets, type boots on the ground, or make a Facebook post. Leverage, guys. Leverage, leverage, leverage. Today, we're going to be talking about lots of leverage. Your time is valuable. Remember, if you live in California, you're damn sure not driving to Texas to go walk a property. So utilize somebody in that market for 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. Typical is about $40 to $50 to open a door, snap pictures, take videos. And then when they're there, make sure you get on a FaceTime call with them if you really want to get like a live presentation of the property. Okay. So great job there, guys, on that. So let's talk about, and we're going to get into that and more in a second here, Jimmy, TaskRabbit. But yes, boots on the ground. Once you have boots on the ground, you understand the floor plan, you understand where you put the walls up. You need to know, how do I know if I convert an existing floor plan of a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, how do I know if I can convert it into a 5-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 6-bedroom, 2-bath, or a 7-bedroom, 2-bath, or an 8-bedroom, 2-bath? It's by looking if there's a floor plan online, which a lot of these realtors, if the property's been listed, they put floor plans of it online, and you can tell by the photos. You can walk the property with the photos, see if there's any Matterport tours, and walk the property. And if worst case scenario, you have to hire somebody to go over there, open up the house, and get some dimensions and stuff like that, you could do that as well. If you really want to get sexy with it, you can actually download the Magic Floor Plan app and have that person that you hire for $40 to $50 to walk the property to actually walk the property and create a floor plan for you, guys. Isn't that crazy? You hire somebody $40, $50, walk the property for you, and create a floor plan for you, which that Magic app, by the way, for the first 3 floor plans is absolutely free. After that, I think it's like maybe 10 bucks a month or something like that. I can't remember. Magic Floor Plan, what is called Magic Floor Plan. You go on your app store, your Android store, and you type in Magic Floor Plan. But there's multiple of those floor plan apps where they just walk around and it creates a floor plan, and it actually tells you the exact dimensions. So after you know your floor plan, after you know how many bedrooms and bathrooms you can create out of the space, the existing floor plan, you're going to go to apartments.com. Okay. Who are your biggest competitors, guys? Drop in the chat. Who are your biggest competitors? Drop in the chat. Let me hear from you guys. Perfect. Studio apartments. Studio apartments. The next progression for this individual is going to go from bedroom to studio apartments. Okay. So you want to know what studio apartments are charging. Okay. Are they charging $800 a month? Are they charging $900 a month? Are they charging, $1,500 a month? In your market, what you're going to do, you're going to do 5. You can do upwards of 10 if you want, but I usually take 5, and I want to know the averages. So I'm going to say in my neighborhood or in my zip code, I'm going to go to apartments.com, type in my zip code, hone in on my neighborhood, get really crystal clear on my neighborhood, and pick 5 comps. You're obviously going to want to look at comps that are not like in expensive A-class buildings, right? Like not luxury buildings, because that's not going to be a comp, right? It's too expensive. Those are luxury units. So you want to look at for the cheapest comps in your market, in your zip code. Try to stay in your zip code. Try to stay within a 1-mile radius, up to 1-mile radius from that subject property that you're looking to take down. Okay. And when you find the 5 comparables, you're going to add every single one up. So let's say it's 5 of them. They're $1,000 a piece. That's $5,000. Okay. So once you find out what that number is, then you can figure out what your room rate is. So we spoke about that yesterday. So once you find out what the average of the 5 is, out of the 5 that you added up 5 studios. You can also go to 1 bedrooms as well if no studio apartments are available. Like for instance, Jimmy's Market, there's no studio apartments available. That's good for him because there's no inventory. Those people aren't going to go into a studio apartment because there's nowhere for them to rent. So we did 1 bedrooms. We added all 5 of the 1 bedrooms, and then what we did was we divided it by 5 to get that average number. Okay. Then what we did is we found out what 20 to 30% of that number was and deducted it off that price to come up with the bedroom rate. And I think we came up with like 233 for the bedrooms that he's at. And he's going to be between 189 to like 233s for his bedrooms. But I did a pad split example in the Jacksonville market, and then I cross-referenced it with the actual PadSplit resource tab to see how I got my number. So that's what we spoke about yesterday. That was a real quick recap. If you missed yesterday, then that is your fault. I know you're probably a little bit lost and you're probably wondering like, wow, this is all really gibberish to me, whatever. Well, if you were here yesterday, you saw that I actually pulled out spreadsheets. I pulled out everything. I pulled out every single tool that I was using. I showed you in depthly. So I just want to talk through it with you guys really quick. Today is day 3. Today's an exciting day. I want everybody to, again, have your cameras on, ask questions, and make sure you are engaging. We are going to try to get to your questions as soon as you ask them, if they're relevant to the topic. If not, we're going to do a Q&A session at the very end. Okay.
I want to clear, Javi, real quick. I want to clear up a few things just to make sure that everyone's on board. Mulaney, I did not see your post until just now for your buy box. Javier mentioned it, and I went back and scrolled through. I will get your graphic done today. I do believe Jenny, I approved Jenny into the group, and then let's see who was the approved post that I just approved now. I forget names like Julie. So Julie, I'll have your graphic done today. Mulaney, am I saying that right? I feel like I'm not saying that right.
It's Melanie, but I was going to
Melanie. Jesus, I'm just
Mulaney. How did you get Mulaney? Oh my God.
That high school education I got, in 10 years of military, listening to helicopters. I'll make sure to get those buy boxes done today. So just a friendly reminder for everybody else that's in here, we got, 10 people. If you're in the free group, if you have a buy box and you want a simple graphic made and you want me to do it, whether you have one or you're not, that's my gift to you all for being here and participating. Post it in the group. I'll take it and turn it into a simple graphic for you guys to use with your contact information, all your criteria. I just want to make sure I give back to you guys for taking the time to be out of your day here on a Wednesday afternoon for a couple hours. So that's all I really have, Javier. Back to you.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, Matt. So today, real quick, I'm going to talk about the agenda. Again, if you haven't got this agenda or you're wondering where this agenda is, we've actually sent you an email. Make sure you check your spam folder and mark it not as spam. We're going to be talking about acquisition and negotiation tactics. I spoke about this a little bit yesterday, but I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth in what I do and how do I get my entry fee so low. That way I'm at the $60,000 mark all in cost. Okay. That's between your furniture, your pad split renovation, the holding cost, your upfront, cash to close acquisition. How am I all in at $60,000? Okay. We're going to be talking about property management, best practices. How do you streamline this business? How do you actually pull yourself away from the day-to-day stuff? Like, hey, the PadSplit member has a leaky toilet. Hey, the light bulb is out. Hey, the cleaner didn't arrive. How do we streamline that? What does that look like? How does my team look like? I'm going to actually be showing you the insights in the back end of my team today live, showing you how they work and how I'm very hands-off. Okay. I call this a semi-passive business. There's not many businesses that are 100% passive, but this is a semi-passive business. You will be hands-on at some point. Okay. I want to be talking about the best practices there. I'm going to wrap it up with the Q&A session, and then we're going to be going into after that, we're going to be going into the 10K giveaway. And as you guys stick around today with me, guys, I'm actually going to be giving away other gifts for you guys that are going to be essential in your PadSplit business. So make sure you stick around for the duration of today's Zoom. That way you guys can get access to the mini gifts that I'm giving you, plus the 10K giveaway at the very end. How do you win the 10K giveaway? You comment, you like, you share on Facebook and Instagram, and plus you have your cameras on and you're interacting with us. My team is on the back end right now and they are paying attention. Who is interacting? Who has their camera on? Who's asking questions? And who's actually being intentional about this, okay? The more you guys ask questions, the better the emotional currency I get from this. It helps me out. It gives me the energy that you guys have, okay? So we are going to, Matt, and if you could in the side chat, do me a favor, drop the free Facebook group in the side chat. That way, if somebody hasn't joined it, they can join it and we can go from there. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into today. Let's jump into the. All right. We're going to jump into the negotiation tactics about what I do and how to get my deals at such a low entry cost. So when you start developing your negotiation skills and you start seeing that you're having a lot of wholesalers actually send you deals that are within your buy box, but maybe the entry fee is too high. So what I actually do is I'll see them send out a deal. And a lot of times, it's, say, for instance, the assignment fee is like 20, 30K, plus they want 10K cash to seller, plus they want me to pay the closing costs, plus I have to pay the TC fee, plus I have to pay their arrears. I haven't even gotten the deal yet. I haven't even closed on the deal. By the time I do my PadSplit renovations, by the time I pay for the holding costs, the ongoing holding costs, by the time I pay for the furniture, once I pay for all my phase 1, 2, and 3 costs after I close on the property, I'm going to be in this deal over $100,000. So how do I stay within budget? So what I will do is, and this is what I want you guys to do, just because a wholesaler sends you a deal doesn't mean you need to accept exactly what they're presenting to you. What I want you guys to start doing is start running numbers or start getting a feel of where that deal would make sense for you. And what does that mean? They might send you a deal where the entry fee is like $55,000, $60,000. Don't be afraid to say, hey, back to them. Once you crunched your numbers, do a quick napkin underwriting is what I call it. Once you look at that and say, you know what, I'm not a buyer at 55, but I am a buyer at 25, or I'm a buyer at 15. Here's the cool thing. We're in a market, guys, where there's lots of opportunities. I promise you, you do not need to rush into a deal. You do not need to rush into a deal. I see too many people and too many students who rush into deals and then they end up into bad deals. You don't want to buy a bad deal. It's all about the buy. Think about that. Anytime you buy a piece of real estate, it's all about the buy. I don't care what exit strategy you're doing. It's about the buy. So be patient. Make sure that you guys are analyzing it. So what you're going to do is you're going to first look at your buy box. You're going to make sure that it matches your buy box, apples to apples, not apples to oranges. And then you're going to see if it's in that top market that you want to be in. Let's say you're in Texas, Dallas, Texas, and you have a deal that was sent to you in Dallas, Texas. Everything is perfect besides the entry cost. So if you see like it's a 20K assignment fee or cash to sellers like $15,000, $20,000, you can just simply reply back to that individual and just say, hey, I'm a buyer on this deal at like $15,000 or $20,000. Like, so for instance, I get deals that are sent to me on the coastline of Florida. And I know as a buyer, and this comes with experience, guys, I know as a buyer that there aren't a whole bunch of buyers that are willing to take on these deals. So I know that that wholesaler is going to struggle when they try to go to dispo the deal. When you lock up a deal as a wholesaler, it's all about the marketability of it. The buyer's willingness to purchase the property at the terms and conditions and the entry fee that you're asking for. So I know that these deals and the coastlines, they're not going to move. And when they move, they're moving for very little entry fees. Like I'm talking about like 10, 5, 10, 15. Now, when you're in bigger major metro markets, sometimes it's a little bit harder to get the ones that are $10,000, $15,000 entry fees. Okay. And so the one I bought in Jacksonville, I actually was in with my cash. This is a property I was overboard on budget. So remember, I'm not perfect, guys, either. I have spent way too much money on some of my houses. Okay. It happens to all of us. So this property, I was actually in it around my just initial acquisitions was around $40,000. Okay. The reinstatement came in a little bit higher. This is a pre-foreclosure. But the wholesaler, I pretty much only gave him $5,000 for the assignment. He didn't have the tools in his tool belt to lock up the deal. So I told him I'd give him $5,000, even though I could have negotiated a little bit lower. I wanted him to bring me more deals. Okay. So What I end up doing is I go out there and I will scout for deals in the Facebook groups, or I have bird dogs, wholesalers working with me, and they know my buy box and they're bringing me deals. A lot of times on a daily basis, almost, guys, I get texts from people saying, hey, I have a deal that I'm negotiating with the seller. I want to see if you're a buyer at XYZ. I'll text them back exactly where I'm a buyer at, right? You're going to do that quick napkin underwriting like I showed you guys. You don't have to do the thorough underwriting, but you're going to do that quick napkin underwriting like we spoke about yesterday. So contingencies. Remember, one of the things you want to think about when you're buying a piece of real estate, if this is your first time acquiring a piece of real estate and you don't know anything about the major components of the property, what are the big major components? What are the hearts and lungs? What did we speak about yesterday? What are the hearts and lungs of a property, guys? Somebody drop it in the chat. Hearts and lungs of the property. What are the hearts and lungs? These are the major components. What are they? Okay, HVAC, roof, perfect. Come on, guys, two more. Electrical, plumbing, perfect. So hearts and lungs of the property, I like to call it the hearts and lungs. These are the major big ticket items. If I have to go in and replace a roof or plumbing or AC or electrical, this is a lot. This stuff costs a lot of money. So when I'm analyzing these deals, I want to know, like, the property has a newer roof or the roof is not older than like 7 years. In my market, once you start getting older than a 7-year roof in my market, in Florida market, we get so many storms, that roof is toward its end of its lifetime, right? So I want it to be 7 years old or newer, typically. I want to have the plumbing to be PEX plumbing or PVC, which PVC has actually become shit plumbing all of a sudden. It's starting to get real brittle and starting to crack. But PEX right now is like the best type of plumbing you can get on the market. I'm also okay with copper plumbing, all right? Even though copper plumbing is an older plumbing, it's actually a very, very durable plumbing, and the insurance companies actually recognize it as a favorable plumbing for them to insure, okay? The HVAC system, again, I don't want it older than 7 years old. An HVAC system costs an easy $5,500 to $6,500 to replace like a 3.5-ton unit. It's very expensive. A roof. Typical roof on a 25 or a 2,000 square foot home, you're at $12,000 to $15,000 for a shingle 3-tab roof. Okay, very expensive. See where I'm going with this? Same thing with the plumbing. You're at, depending on how many bedrooms and faucets you have, you're at going to be about $5,500 to $6,500 for a plumbing for a 3-tube home that's 1,500 square foot. And then electrical. I know if I'm buying homes that are 1980 or newer, it's going to have copper wiring. Why is it going to have copper wiring? Is because that is the type of wiring that use in homes today, even homes that are built in 2024. Copper wiring is some of the best wiring you can actually utilize in a home. We spoke about aluminum wiring yesterday. Aluminum wiring in a home is a big no-no. Insurance companies, when they go to insure you, they are going to look at how much of a liability are you to them, right? For them to insure your product that you have, your asset, how much of a liability you are to them. If you have aluminum wiring, I'm going to tell you right now, you're a high liability to them. The only remedy to that is you can get something that's called Alumicons in the outlets, and that will actually suffice for the insurance company to actually give you insurance. So make sure that these major components are updated and that you have some type of inspection done to the property. Now, a lot of times, wholesale deals, off-market deals, there isn't an inspection period for you to actually negotiate, but sometimes you can negotiate on these deals, okay? But remember, after you put your hard money in, what happens? Your hard money your escrow money, your money becomes hard. So a lot of times you're not going to get a refundable escrow deposit back. So the best thing to do is try to do your inspection right on site before you go under contract, or come with somebody who knows what they're doing. And then you can also look at stuff like, ask the wholesaler, does the previous seller have an inspection report? Or does the wholesaler have an inspection report? Do they have a 4-point inspection? Try to ask these questions. And then through the county records, you can also look up how old the roof is, if there's been any plumbing permits, electrical permits, AC permits. Doesn't mean it hasn't been updated, because not everybody pulls permits. We all know that. A lot of people do shortcuts. But typically, if it's an updated roof, an updated plumbing system, an updated HVAC, or electrical, these type of things typically are permitted most time. If you see a property that doesn't have a permit for a roof, you might have issues getting insurance as well. Insurance companies are getting stricter. Even though that I'm in a Florida market right now, and I'm in a market to where insurance companies hate the homes that we give them to insure, because we get a lot of hailstorms, we get a lot of hurricane storms, we get all these types of storms, and we have all these catastrophic things going on here. They don't like the product that they want to insure here, because they want everything to be like super updated. Like, it's crazy. They've gotten a lot stricter over the years, but other markets have a lot of other issues too, just like we do. So make sure that these things are within reason of age. Okay. Subject two, we talked about subject two. We talked about seller finance. Right now, these are how I'm taking my deals down. I'm not utilizing banks. I did utilize banks years ago, but until I had the tools on my tool belt to be able to execute on subject to deals and seller finance deals, I have now literally, that's all I look at now. That's all I take down now. Okay. All right. So let's get into the acquisitions, next steps, hiring contractors, and making sure that the property meets PadSplit's high standards. Remember, we spoke about yesterday, I showed you pictures of my real PadSplit properties on my PadSplit profile. I went through, what did I have? I had uniqueness, right? I had uniqueness, meaning in the sense of my rooms were really nice. They were staged really nice. I had really nice furniture. All the rooms had, they had desks in them, office chairs, refrigerators. They had ceiling fans, reach-in closets. I have every single amenity you literally can put in a room. Okay. So when you're doing this, and as the market gets more saturated with more PadSplit hosts, you're going to want to make sure you stand out. Okay. Let's see. Virginia asked, when can you put, what can you put in the sockets? It's called, if your property, typically, I think they're built from 1960 to 1970. If you Google right now in Google, what type of home, what year of home has aluminum wiring? I think it's 1960 to 1970. That in that time frame, they stopped using copper wiring in homes because it got very expensive. So what ends up happening is, if you have aluminum wiring, it's actually a fire hazard to the insurance companies, because they're known for starting fires because the wires heat up, right? So you're a high liability. So it's called Alumicons. These are something that the electrician goes in throughout the whole entire house, and all the light sockets, all the light fixtures, they pull them out, they remove them, and they put this little box on the wiring. Okay. What that does is it adds a copper wiring and aluminum wiring on one side of the box, and that eliminates that fire hazard. When an insurance company sees that you have this, they will actually give you favorable insurance. Okay. But look it up. I think it's 1965, 1970. I think you might see homes even in the 1975 range have aluminum wiring. If you're buying homes in 1980 or newer, you do not have to worry about that. If you're buying homes in the 2000 or newer, you do not have to worry about that. Okay. So just make sure that you're checking on that stuff, guys. It's super important. So you have expectations when you go to insure the home, and you go to switch your insurance policy, especially if you're taking over a property subject to, you're going to have to switch that insurance policy sometime and get a landlord's policy. We spoke about that yesterday as well. All right. So let's talk about contractors for a second. How am I getting my contract? So what we talked about already, we've talked about, how do you get the property? After you get a property sent to you, how do you analyze the property? How do you come up with rents? Okay. We talked about, how do you put up walls? Where do you put up walls? We talked about all this already, guys. So you guys should have this in your heads right now. Does anybody confused so far? We're about to go into the contractor process. Anybody have anything that they want me to clarify? Anything about what I said or recap? If today's your first day, I can't explain all the last 1-2 days to you. But what I can tell you is, hopefully you catch on really quick on day 3. We'll have ongoing support, and we'll talk about that later, what that looks like. So everybody's good for right now. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're crystal clear on where we're at right now. We're about to talk about hiring contractors and PadSplit management. 1, perfect. Give me a 1, guys. All right. So where do I get my contractors from? So if you guys remember, I'm based in Orlando, Florida. I have property in Jacksonville. I got property in Palm Coast, Florida. These markets are 2 hours away from me. Okay. I am not going to these properties on a daily basis to check on my contractors. I'm not going to these properties to find contractors. I actually utilize 2 websites. The 2 websites I use are Thumbtack, Thumbtack.com. If you guys want to jot that down, and don't worry, we'll have this all jotted down for you if you don't want to jot it down. Thumbtack.com is my best friend, and TaskRabbit. Oh my God, these two sites are my best friends. If you don't have these sites in your market, because sometimes some markets, they're pretty much in every single market, but some markets don't have these. Thumbtack.com and PadSplit, okay? Why do I use Thumbtack.com and why do I use PadSplit? Is because these sites actually give me, everybody can see my screen here, right? Drop a 1 in the comments if you can see my screen. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to show you real conversations that I'm having with these contractors. Matt was actually with me, and you can see right here, I'm going to bring you guys into my actual inbox. Okay. So whatever market I'm in, whether it's Jacksonville, I pick exactly what I'm looking for, and you can actually type in if whatever you're looking for is not in the drop down here, you can just type it in. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a handyman? Are you looking for a plumber? Are you looking for an electrician? Are you looking for an errand runner? Because a lot of times you guys are going to be thinking like, Angelus, you can use Angelus too. I don't use Angelus just because I like Thumbtack and how streamlined it is. I prefer it. I just feel like it's a better interface, and I feel that it's a little bit more streamlined. But Angelus is another one. There are some other websites, guys. I'm just telling you guys, these are the tools that I'm using, okay? You can see, for instance, I have a property in North Carolina, right? This is not concerning PadSplit, but I'm just showing you here. This guy was actually a guy who got hired with me recently. My lawn needed to be cut. He came out. He sent me some pictures. Boom, right? Okay, lawn's cut. Okay, great. Now, when I'm going in there and I'm typing in the list of who I'm looking for, whether it's a handyman, a house cleaner, whatever, I'm actually going in and seeing what do their reviews look like. So I can see this person has 1 negative review here. Okay, not a big deal. If the majority of the reviews are good, meaning like they have a 4.8 star or above, and they have at least, typically I try to hire people with at least 10 reviews, because I want to see that they've proven themselves. I want to see that there's customer satisfaction. But when I go to hire a contractor, and I'm going to show you in a second what I'm really looking for, a lot of times when I go to the property for the very first time, because I will walk my properties, from the duration of me going from day one, I close on the property, to all the way when the property is actually in service as a PadSplit. Typically, I walk the property anywhere between 2 to 3 times. A lot of times when I go to my properties, I'm actually shooting content. I'm having meetups. I'm meeting contractors. So I'm doing multiple, I'm getting down multiple birds in one stone, right? I'm doing multiple things in one try. So I'm being very efficient with my time. So I host a meetup at the same time, right? I'm doing a walkthrough with other students. I'm shooting content, and then I'm meeting the contract the very first time, or as well too. Like Matt has been with me. I actually had students with me. We had our last one, we had about 10 or 15 people show up. I actually walked people through the PadSplit. I walked them from when I got the property, and I walked them to the finished product at the very end, so they can actually see firsthand. I know we're all in different markets. I know probably some of you guys are like, wow, I would love to have you do that with me. But so what I'm looking at, and I'm going to show you exactly, okay, I'm just using this guy as an example. I'm going to show you exactly one of the contractors I hired for one of my projects. So by the way, guys, all these people you see here, I got lawn guys I've hired. I got electricians I've hired. I've gotten photographers I hired. Photographer I've hired. Another photographer. Another handyman, right? And so on and so forth. You get the point. One of my best contractors I've hired is, and I've had great success. His name's Jose. He is my Jacksonville contractor. If you guys are in Jacksonville, I'm happy to spread the love and give you his information. Let's see, load more. I got so many contractors I've hired. Oh, here he is. This guy right here, okay? When I was going to do my PadSplit renovation, my first thing that I do is I vet 2 to 3 contractors. I know I need to put up what? I need to put up walls. I need to put up studs. I need painting, all that stuff done. If I can deal with one person that does my drywall hanging, building the studs, which typically if you hang drywall, you can obviously build walls. That's very common. You can finish the walls and you can paint the walls. So it's common for that person who does that type of trade to actually do all 3 of those things, okay? So Jose right here, the Mantra brothers, I hired him off Thumbtack. My best contractor. He's done multiple PadSplit renovations for me. And what I did was I put Jacksonville in the search bar here, put the zip code in, and then it pulled up a bunch of different contractors, which I'll show you in a second what that looks like. But this is an actual real conversation I can show you. Very short because we met at the property. Good morning. Are we good for 12 p.m.? Yes, sir. Okay, see you there. You can see here. Sounds good. Blah, blah, blah. Kept it short and sweet. Here's my description to Jose, kept it very short and to the point. I didn't want to overwhelm the contractor over messaging like, hey, I got this PadSplit property and I got all these things going on, this and that. No, let's walk, let's meet, let's shake hands. If this is somebody you haven't dealt with before, I want you guys on the top search bar, and you could do this right now with me. You're going to type in on the top search bar, drywall hanging, and then it's going to pop up different people for drywall hanging. But I kept it very short and simple with Jose. I said, hey, Jose oh, no, that was a review that I put there. Let me see. Doesn't have my original project details. Oh, Lord, previous messages. Here it is. What's your availability? Okay. I put, what's your availability? He put, hello, Javier. I can help you with your next project. What day works for you? Absolutely. I will text you day and time to meet. Here's the property address. And then it sounds good. All right. So then we met at the property. Okay. But before I even hired him or before I reached out to him, how do I know if this guy is even worth meeting? One of the things I want you guys to be very, very careful with, contractors are scamming. I have hired tons of people off Thumbtack, and I got to tell you, very consistent. I haven't had major issues, knock on wood. I always say contractors are only as good as their next job. But how do I know if this guy's good? All right, so what I start clicking around on his photos. These are photos he's done for other customers. He's done kitchens. Okay, I can see he has that trade under his belt. Oh, wow, look at this. I need to put up walls, right? Oh, wow, he's got insulation he's done in the walls. Perfect. All right, look at this. Boom, more walls that he's put up. All right, now we're looking like this is somebody I probably want to work with. So I'm going to look through the pictures first, just like I'm doing now. Look at him adding more walls. Wow, what do we need as a PadSplit investor? We need a contractor to put up walls. So look at this. So I'll keep going. Boom. All right. So he's done a lot of work. Cool. Cool. All right. So that's good enough for me. Then I'm going to go over to his, I'm going to go over to his picture or his reviews. Reviews are always on the top of their profile right here. Okay. Like I said, contractor out of Jacksonville, got me right there. And this is the cool thing. You know, websites like this, Angelus, all that, TaskRabbit are pulling contractors right in your local market. You don't have to do any heavy lifting. So see how I'm utilizing all these websites to get things done very, very fast. So what I'm going to do here is now I'm going to read through the reviews. Had a great experience with him, with our drywall job, came out, okay, gave us an estimate right away, was fair and scheduled an appointment to install it right away. He was very careful to cover up everything, perfect, 100% satisfaction. Okay, great. All right, I'm going to read through more reviews. See how many reviews he has. He has 39 reviews. He's got 5-star, 97% of people think he's a 5-star contractor. He's got 3% of people think listen, no contractor is going to have perfect reviews. So it's okay. I love to see that there's some negative feedback because that shows that he's a real person. All right. I could see that these this is actually me who wrote this right here. This is my review, by the way. Stephanie wrote a review. Really good. Jan wrote a review. Freddie wrote a review, so on and so forth. I could see that he has majority of 97% of people, he has gotten positive reviews. Okay. Look, could see him hanging stuff, right? Could see him finishing drywall here. So he has a really good reputation. So what I did was I said, hey, meet me at the property. I messaged him here really quick. Before I go into all my whole spiel, whatever, I know social proof that he has shown me that he's done a great job for other customers. Now, if you guys want, you can also cross-reference. You can copy and paste this name into Google and see what pops up. It's important for you to know your contractor. Do they have a Google profile, business profile? Do they have a Facebook page? Do they have an Instagram page? Check out them check them out on all the social platforms. You want to make sure that you're vetting them as best as possible. Not only that, it shows social proof. If you see that they're on Instagram every single day and they're posting their work up, then that's a good sign. Some individuals though, like him, he's not really a tech savvy person. I could tell he's running his own business. He's working in the day-to-day of his business. When I met with him, I could see he's working on his projects. So he's probably not going to have all that. I'm not saying that's a disqualifier by any means. I'm just saying it's important for you guys to look on other social profiles to make sure to see if they are legitimate. Another thing you can look for as well, when you copy and paste their name, you can also copy and paste it right into Google. Okay. And see, I like to see if they have a business page of any sort. Okay. So I'll go down here. Okay, I could see on Thumbtack they're there, which I already saw that. You can look up their entity on Sunbiz. Do they have an active entity? Also, another good thing that you can look up, you can look on Better Business Bureau to see if they're rated good or not. Nextdoor is another one, so I can see they're on Nextdoor. Perfect. So this is a good sign. So they're on Nextdoor. This is him right here again. So he's on some platforms. He's on Thumbtack. He's on Nextdoor. I can see here. He doesn't have quite as good of a presence on here. Just seems like he's probably doing mostly everything on Thumbtack. Let me see here, 12 people. You can go Better Business Bureau. You can go to Sunbiz, scout them out there. So it doesn't look like he has a Google profile. Look, this is so funny. This is actually him and his business right here off Google. I just did a quick Google search. This is him. So I can see this guy's really hanging walls. He's really doing business, right? Good sign. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to be able to come in and go to Thumbtack. Did I close out of Thumbtack? Oh no. Go into Thumbtack. Let's go to Dallas, Texas. Let's go to Dallas. See what we pull in Dallas. Oh, what's Dallas, Texas zip code? Anybody know Dallas, Texas zip code? One of their zip codes? Oh, I put that in the chat. I meant to put it here. Oh, 72,201. All right, perfect. So what I'm going to do now, close this out so I don't get confused. All right. So you can actually go in here, 72,201. Drywall. Drywall installation or repair or specialist. These are okay. You can choose any one of these. All right. You're going to go to search. What's going to happen is they're going to qualify you on here. Thumbtack's just qualifying you. Thumbtack sells your information to the contractor as a lead. So they actually paid for this. Okay. That's another thing. The people who are on their platform, when they get the inquiry from you, they're actually paying for you. They're paying for you to reach out to them through Thumbtack. That's how Thumbtack makes money. You're a lead to them. You get sold as a lead. Okay, walls or ceilings. You don't have to be too specific here. Let's see. You can skip all that if you want. So boom, look at this. James Home Maintenance, house and house cleaning. Oh, cool. So I might be able to get a maintenance guy, handyman here. These guys, when Thumbtack brings these people up, they have done some type of level of drywall hanging as well, okay? You can also look in Facebook groups as well in that certain market. So I'm going to click on James, and it shows me here. Okay, it looks like James is doing cabinets. Let me see if any of his pictures. I have no idea who this James guy is. I never search this market. I'm just looking like if I was looking like with you guys. But he's done some work, right? Look at this. Wow. Would you say in the chat, he looks like he can hang drywall? Yes or no? Does it look like this guy can hang a drywall? I've never worked with him. Looks like his guys are painting here, doing jobs. Let's read the comments. Pressure washing done, repairing holes, painting the porch deck. Okay. So this might be somebody you want to reach out to. Okay. So you get the point. So you could do that across Thumbtack and pick 2 contractors. Couple things I want to talk about. When you're meeting with these contractors and you're actually walking the property with them, okay, you want to do two things. One, you want to see how do they present themselves? Are they coming up in a marked vehicle? Like this guy, even though it's not the prettiest, he has a marked vehicle, right? A box truck. Are they coming up in company vehicles? Do they have a actually company shirt? Remember, what I want you guys to do is hire slow, fire fast. Don't hire someone too fast, because what ends up happening is you hire a bad contractor. If you guys hire the wrong contractor, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not telling you this to scare you, it will ruin your day, months, years. I'm telling you that right now. What happens is, if you hire one, they're not doing a bad job, they don't show up, they can't communicate. So understand, from the first time you reach out to these individuals, how long does it take them to text you back? Are they asking good questions? Do they show up on time? Are they showing up in a marked vehicle? Do they have marked company shirts? You, as the person who's hiring them, don't be afraid to ask for things like insurance. Do they have a bond? Okay. Look them up on all social media platforms. Who are you dealing with? And then once you have built rapport with them and you're at the job site, make sure you ask them, hey, can I walk other jobs that you have done in the nearby area? It's okay after you've built rapport and you shook their hand and you're looking to hire them, you can walk another project they're doing up the road. If they're a good contractor and they're actually doing work and they're out there shaking and moving, they are not going to be afraid to show you some other project that they're working on, especially if it's in the area. You want to know that they're busy and they're being hired by other homeowners, don't you? You want to know that they're doing real work, right? So that's important. Make sure that you're doing that. That way, you know you're hiring someone who is reliable. So from the time you reach out to them, you're going to be scouting them. All right. Another website that I use is TaskRabbit. Okay. I'm going to show you right here. TaskRabbit, I primarily use not for people to hang drywall. You can find people who hang drywall in here, but I actually primarily use TaskRabbit for cleaners, and I use TaskRabbit for furniture assembly individuals and handymen. All these people, you can actually go and cross over onto Thumbtack. You can find these same people on Thumbtack, or you can find them on TaskRabbit. I just found, what I have found in the markets that I'm working in is I find better people who are cleaners and better people who do furniture assembly for a lot cheaper on TaskRabbit. Now, TaskRabbit platform is a little bit different. You'll see here, guys, it says cleaning, $36 an hour, yard work, $50 an hour, organization, $41 an hour. So what I do, guys, TaskRabbit's a little bit different. With Thumbtack, you actually can talk to the contractor, the vendor, for absolutely free, no charge to you. With TaskRabbit, they actually make you put your credit card information in before you can reach out to these individuals, because you're paying TaskRabbit a service fee for you to connect, or for them to connect you with a vendor. So it's a little bit different. It's kind of backwards on TaskRabbit. So here's my hack. I will automatically, when I reach out to individuals, I'm going to show you some of my team. This lady right here, Janet, she is actually on my team. Let me go to my inbox here. She's actually on my team, and she actually works directly with me. She's one of my cleaners, and she's my errand runner. Okay. Let me see if I can see her. Let me see if I can see her messages when I hired her. I hired her like 5-6 months ago. Here's your reviews, but let me see if I can go to our inbox, our conversation, so you can see. Hired this guy recently, actually, for electrical repair. Freaking phenomenal. But what I'll do here is I will, it doesn't let me reference see, TaskRabbit's a little bit different. Here's my tasks that I've hired people for. Let me see if it lets me go back. No, it doesn't let me go back. It doesn't let me go back on the, okay, I go to completed. Let's see. Rebook. Okay, so it only lets me rebook. It doesn't let me cross-reference our previous conversation on the actual website, but I think the application allows you to do it, not the website. But anyway, so you can see all the people I rehired on here, right? This Janet lady, check this out. I hired her as an errand runner. So what am I using these platforms, guys? I'm using these platforms not only to find my vendors, but I'm also using these platforms to hire people to run my errands. Hey, boxes need to be pushed in. Think about this. When you have the property up and done, or all the renovation is done, and you have 5 million Amazon packages sitting outside your door, are you going to be going to your property every single day, multiple times a day, to push packages in? No. Oh, chat history. Yep, you're right. I see here. Chat history. Are you going to push packages in every single day? Multiple times a day? No. Are you going to be going to stores to do shopping if you have miscellaneous stuff that you didn't purchase? No. And don't worry, I'm actually going to be giving a freebie away today. One of the freebies is a shopping list. So stick to the end to get that. So you could see here, she said, hey, Javier, I could do this for you. Let me see if my original, I'm here and the technician. Okay. The first time I hired her under the errand runner category. So if you go on TaskRabbit and you type in errand runners, so the the internet companies, they make you have someone on site 18 years of age or older. I'm living in Orlando, that's 2 hours away, to be able to go there and be someone there to be present for them to be able to open the door simply for that technician to come in the property and install the internet. Well, do you think I was going to drive 2 hours? No, I paid this lady, I think $40. I think it was like $40 for 2 hours for her to stand there while the internet technician was to do the job. So what did I do? I hired her on the platform. I paid a service fee to TaskRabbit, which it was $40 to her, and then TaskRabbit took another 20. So it was like $60. So that initial upfront cost was expensive. But what do? I asked them for their numbers, their phone numbers. That way I can hire them off platform. Every single person is okay with working off platform. I've actually had, I've reached out to over probably 30 to 40 people on here, and there's only been one who says, no, I'm really loyal to TaskRabbit and I don't want to, destroy my relationship with them. I respected that, no problem. But why do I want to remove TaskRabbit? Because I don't want to keep paying the service fee. And plus I want to negotiate with them directly. Some people prefer working off platform. Maybe they get charged a fee as well. I get charged a fee and they might get charged a fee as well. Who knows? But I want to negotiate with them off platform. And not only that, a lot of these people who are, I'm going to click on her profile. A lot of these people aren't just errand runners. So I hired her as an errand runner, but if you notice on their profile, you go under their skills, it tells you their skills. She can do hedge trimming. She can do cleaning. She can do decoration. She can do errands. She can do event staffing. She can do landscape help. She can do laundry and ironing. Wow, this is amazing. I get one person do all this stuff? Absolutely. And so this is how I really save money as an operator. Not only did I hire this individual, okay, I hired her as a errand runner, which if you type in errand runner under TaskRabbit, she popped up and it shows you all the errands that she's ever run. Right? For that each individual category, it shows you every single thing that they've done, right? So I can see she's got 5 stars. Hey, Janet was fantastic. Highly recommend. Awesome personality, great attention to detail. And she finds opportunities to add value. Thanks, Janet. All this good stuff. Yeah, I need more Janets in my life too. Don't feel I need more Janets. So when I hired her on here, I had a phone call with her, and I saw on her profile, she also does cleaning. What do you guys think I did next? What do you think I did next? When I hired her just to stand there to open up internet, or the door for the internet guy, even though I had electric lock on the door, I needed someone 18 years of age or older. Yeah, great job, Julie. I negotiated with her cleaning fees. Guess what? She's already at the property. I told her while she was standing there, hey, go ahead and walk the property that's already been built as a pad split. We've already added all of our bedrooms. I said, Janet, can you do me a favor while you're there? I see that you actually have a cleaning skill set as well. Can you do me a favor? Can you walk through every single bedroom and give me a quote on what it would cost for you to come and clean this bi-weekly? This is an 8-bedroom, 2-bath property. So she gave me a quote while she was there, right? Not only that, I used her also for other errands. And then I told her, I saw on her profile, I needed a lawn person. I saw on her profile that she also does lawn cleaning or lawn care, right? I saw she does hedging, she does trimming, she does this stuff on her profile too. So I was like, okay, well, let me check her out. Let me ask her. Landscape help right here. Boom, landscape help, right? She's doing landscape. This lady, not only did she show up to open the door for the guy for the internet, it cost me $60 to open the door. To have her go there, paid her 2 hours of her time, which was $20 an hour. And then I had to pay for the TaskRabbit service fee. After that, I hired her off platform. My God, let me tell you, this lady has been a blessing to my life. Why? After I got her to do the internet thing, well, guess what? We went through my shopping list. I have a whole entire SOP shopping list for you guys to take advantage of, which if you stay to the end, I'm actually going to give it away as a freebie today. That's one of my gifts. Remember, I promised you guys stuff. I got a whole entire shopping and staging list, an SOP, a standard operating procedure that you guys can simply hand off to the people you hire. I can't make it any easier. This is a whole entire document, word for word, room for room, that I've created that I'm going to give you guys absolutely free today if you stick to the end. Well, guess what? When I started having all my stuff delivered to the property, at one point we had 4 Amazon trucks at the home and 1 UPS truck. We had packages all over the front. So think about it. Typically, there's about 150 to 160 items you're gonna order at a PadSplit, right? Think about how many boxes you're gonna get at your front door. She went there every single time. When I saw on my Ring doorbell camera that the front area was full of packages. Hey, Janet, can you stop by today at the end of the day at 6 or 7 o'clock and push in the packages? Hey, no problem. 25 bucks every single time. I live in Orlando. Think about I have to drive there every single time to do that. I drive 2 hours there, drive 2 hours back, and push in the packages. You're talking about 5 hours out of my day. I know how much I'm worth an hour. I want you guys to ask yourself, how much are you worth an hour? It's not time efficient. So that's why I said, if you structure this the right way, you can have it to where you don't have to worry about ever having to commute back and forth to different markets to do this. Hire a Janet. Just like Rashana said, get a Janet in your life. Super important. Okay. So I negotiated with her to be my errand runner. I negotiated for her to mow my lawn, $50 every 2 weeks. And I negotiated for her to be my cleaner. Now, I want you guys to think about one thing. Anytime you're hiring a vendor and you're giving them this many tasks, you got to be careful because now you're putting all your eggs in one basket with one person. I'm okay with doing that with her. I was okay with testing the waters. But if you go and hire somebody for a big job, let's say like Jose, for instance, the guy I just showed you right here, the Jose guy that I showed you earlier, let's say you go to hire him for a big job and you want him to do additional stuff. Like for instance, this Jose guy that I hired, he actually, not only did he put up all my walls, he put up all the drywall and did all the painting. That's very standard for a drywall hanging guy. They do all that work. He also replaced the bathroom vanity for me. He also replaced light fixtures for me. He hung all the ceiling fans for me. I saw his skill set. I didn't ask him to do this right away, guys. I was smart. I was like, let me see if he shows up every day. How do I know if he's showing up every day? I got Ring cameras on the perimeter of the property. I also have a Ring camera actually inside the house as well. I want to see the activity in my house. Are they drinking on the job? Are they smoking weed on the job? Are they showing up on time? How many guys are working? Well, guess what? After a week, I saw he was doing an excellent job. So I actually hired him to replace the toilets. I hired him to paint the bathrooms as well, to put flooring in the bathrooms. I hired him to replace the vanities. I hired him to do other tasks. This is the very first project I ever worked with this guy on. Now, when I did the second PadSplit property with him, it went even further. That first one, I had to hire an electrician to come in to do all the electrical work, to reroute the electrical. And when I say reroute the electrical, we're literally like typically like sometimes when you put up a wall, the ceiling fan might be against the wall because you just put a wall up where a ceiling fan was. So you just have to move the electrical over like a foot or two. Same thing with the outlets. You might have to move the outlets over a foot or two. So we do very minor basic electrical. My next project that I worked on with Jose, I had so much confidence in Jose that he did all my electrical. He ran the extra ductwork in the ceilings for me, the bedrooms that I added to. Because if you add bedrooms, a lot of times they might not have air to them. So how do you get air to them? How do you get airflow to bedrooms that don't have air door? You have to add an air vent, right? Somebody has to go up in the attic, run a flex unit into that bedroom so you can get air. So that person has adequate air for that bedroom, right? He did every single thing. I was actually able to hire one team to do everything, the whole entire PadSplit build out. The only thing that I hired outside of Jose, on my last PadSplit project, not the Jacksonville one, but the last PadSplit project was I did a ductless AC system in the garage. In the garages, I recommend you guys do ductless AC systems. Do not connect another flex into that or into the attic from the central HVAC system. Why? Because typically your AC system, if it's a 3.5 ton, it's not adequate for you to cool off a garage. So now if you do that, you're going to be taking away from air from the rest of the home. You're going to piss off your members. So make sure you add a ductless AC system. That way you can cool off that area, adequately, right? Super important. All right. So Jose did that, everything, didn't have to worry about it. So that is with my contractors. That's how I'm hiring contractors. So before I go on about contractors, anybody have a question? Has anything hit home? Did you have an aha moment? Drop it in the comment section. I'm going to take a sip of water really quick. Drop it in the comment section. Do you have a question about contractors, about anything I've discussed before I move on any further? We have a lot of material to cover today, guys. Any good nuggets? Good nuggets, bad nuggets, so-so nuggets? All right, so, oh my God, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this two of my, okay, vacant properties, how to get them to find Wi-Fi cameras installed. Boom, perfect. Yeah, leverage it. Don't show up to your properties, put a lockbox on it. Very first thing you guys should be doing when you're taking down your properties, the day you close on your property, the things you should be doing is internet installation. Put your Ring cameras up or Eufy cameras up around the perimeter of the home. That way you have eyeballs on the property at all times. And you should be putting a lockbox or electronic door lock on. Why? I know it's simple. We all think like, oh, wow, yeah, lockbox. Well, if you don't put a lockbox on the property, how are people going to have access to it if you don't have electric lock or lockbox on it, right? It's super essential. That way you can send people to the property and they can unlock the property without you physically having to be there. The cameras are for you to have eyeballs on your property at all times. I use Ring personally. Any recommendations on locks, electric locks, are you using for external doors? Yes, perfect. You're actually going to get a gift from me today. I'm going to give you my complete shopping list. There's over 100 items and how to furnish your property from A to Z. And I'm also going to give you the property staging list. Just stick to the end. I'm going to give that to you. And then you'll see my locks in there, by the way. I have 3 different locks that I use in there. And I also have the door locks for I have everything that I use in that shopping list. So you'll get a copy of that today. Okay. Yesterday, we spoke about the walls and how I put up the walls, right? This is that existing floor plan. So we spoke about that yesterday. Choosing the right contractor, vetting. We spoke about vetting just now. We spoke about the contractor, the property contributes overall success. Yep. Perfect. Oh, one thing I want to talk about really quick. When you are putting up walls, okay, it's super essential. If you are putting up walls, like for instance, we put up a wall here. So everywhere where you see these gaps, these are doorways. We put up a wall here. We put up a wall from here to here. Okay, zoom in a little bit. From here to here. And we put up a wall from here to here. Anywhere you put up walls, guys, I cannot stress this enough. You can't just put up walls in this business. You have to put up installation walls that either you're using some type of soundproof insulation. That way you don't have noise travel through the walls. Remember, in this example here, I created this. I put a wall down the middle. This is a double window. I put a wall up down the middle and I put a wall up here, which is the entryway right now. Or it was, and I put a wall up here. Think about this guy in this room. Let's say this is room number 3. And then this room's number 4. Think about this guy is constantly on his phone. It's very loud. And you don't have a sound. If you put up drywall, just drywall here with studs, one of the things you're going to have a problem with is noise complaints. Noise complaints will lead to vacancies. You do not want vacancies because you just put up drywall. You have to do soundproofing insulation. It's real simple. If you look up soundproofing insulation on Google, you're going to tell your contractors you want to make your walls soundproof. There's two things you could do. You could do soundproof insulation, and then you can also offset your 2x4s. So 2x4s are usually one after another every 16 inches. So you have a 2x4 here, and then 16 inches down the road, you have another 2x4. And then 16 inches down the road, you have another 2x4. Well, when they create soundproof walls, they stagger the 2x4s, because that way that the drywall is not sharing the same studs. So noise is less likely to travel through the wall. It helps mitigate it. But in addition to that, what you're going to do is you're going to put soundproof insulation in between the walls. If you can't afford soundproof insulation or it's too expensive, you can actually get regular insulation in the walls, like what your regular walls have. That will also help, right? You want that padding in the wall. That way, if you do the soundproof wall and you can't afford the insulation or it's not within budget, then you can go ahead and put the just regular insulation in the wall. That way you have something there to really move that sound and it doesn't get through and penetrate. That's the biggest thing. So anywhere there's high foot traffic or there's adjoining walls, you want to make sure you're soundproofing your walls. That way you're not getting noise complaints, and noise complaints will lead to what? Vacancies, right? All right, perfect. All right, so make sure, I'm glad I remembered that. And I didn't forget that for you guys, because that's super essential. I see so many people get noise complaints. All right, we're gonna move into the management side. What does my management team look like? How do I stay hands-off as possible? Okay. I actually get all my team members, VAs, customer service individuals, which I call them. They actually do customer service for me directly, vertically integrated, and I like to work with VAs overseas. And where do I hire my VAs? I use Upwork. You can hire people off Fiverr if you want, or Upwork. Same thing. It's a platform that curates VAs for your needs. Okay. This is my Upwork account, guys. You can see I have had a lot of conversations with VAs, right? VA here, VA here. Here's another VA. This is the guy who I've hired, and he's been working with me. This is the profile. So you're also, I'm going to give you another freebie here in a second. It's going to be a job post freebie. I want you to post my exact ad, right? When I originally hired this guy, he was actually working with me under my Airbnb customer support. So I hired him as a customer support specialist for my Airbnb portfolio. A lot of you guys might not know, I have a huge Airbnb portfolio, and I have customer service specialists on my Airbnb portfolio. But here's what I did. Instead of going out there hiring new VAs for my PadSplit, I already had VAs that were working with me on the customer service side, and I just cross-trained them to understand the PadSplit model. So my exact same VAs that I work for my Airbnb portfolio, they're actually working to me on my PadSplit portfolio, right? And I actually have 24-hour VAs. My guys are out of Pakistan. Okay, this is him. So you can see I hired this guy. Actually, he started working with me January 2nd. He came with himself and 3 VAs, by the way. This guy is actually a lead VA for me, and he manages my other VAs. Because you have to ask yourself, if you hire a VA, who manages your VA? Is it you? Because I do manage my VAs a little bit, but I have a head VA, which is him. He actually has 2 buddies of his in Pakistan that work with him on the VA side of customer service support. So when I'm hiring VAs, notice I'm being very specific. What am I looking for? Customer service VAs. I'm not looking for VAs that work on cold calling. I'm not hiring cold calling VAs. I'm hiring customer service VAs, right? So this individual right here, this is my job post that I put. He's actually replying to my job post here. I'm very motivated, professional, right? As a person who thrives in high pressure space environments, here's my responsibilities: live chat support, handling inquiries, respond to customers, confirm bookings, inform cleaners about their cleaning schedule, quality control, team leading, check all your yesterday's performances, 24-hour support, inform the owner of necessary things, handling maintenance items, etc. Okay. My job description is right here, guys. You're actually going to get a copy of this. That way you don't have to come up with your own job description. But here's what I look for, and you're just going to have to change up their verbiage a little bit, right? Very, very little. I make sure that on my job post, I put 30 to 40 hours per week. Please note this is a long-term position. Okay. Then I put the job overview right here. Then I talk about the responsibilities, customer support, vendor support, co-hosting assistance, documentation and reporting, continuous improvement, qualifications, right? Here's my job post. And then I look for somebody right around the $10 an hour range, right? Now, this individual, I was actually able to negotiate with him where I pay him and his two VA buddies. He's the head VA and his two VA buddies. I pay, and they're out of Pakistan. Hold your breath because you're going to be freaking like, you're going to be like crazy how I got this deal. Again, look how many people I talked to, guys. I talked to all these people. And a lot of these people didn't want to work 24/7. A lot of these people wanted $12, $15, $18 an hour. I wasn't willing to pay that. I found my guy right here. I pay him $120 US a week through Upwork, right? He now pays his team, his two other guys. He's my head guy. So I actually have 3 VAs that handle my customer service for $120 a week. Yeah, it's crazy, crazy good deal. Very good deal. Right? But again, you guys, again, look how many VAs I went through. Look at all these VAs I spoke to right here. Right? Hey, Javier, checking back. Are you still interested in customer support? Hey, Javier. Like I put my work in for this. This doesn't happen overnight, guys. This doesn't happen overnight. Look at this. Hey, Javier, thank you for the consideration. Hey, Javier. Guys, my point here is, just like I told you with the contractors, don't hire fast, hire slow. Fire fast. You do not want to hire the wrong team. And if you do have somebody who's not a good fit, you want to talk about probation periods, 60, 90-day probation periods. If they're not a good fit within the first 30 to 60 days, get rid of them. There's so many people knocking on your door on Upwork or Fiverr who will work for you. I promise you. Okay. I put my work in. I found my guys. Look at this. I talked about all these people. And by the way, guys, one of my little hacks too, I want to talk about how do you scout for good VAs? So you can make a job post, and what happens with a job post on Upwork, it's totally free. You start getting blasted with inquiries, or you can actually scout on Upwork. When I put my job post up, this is exactly my job post right here, right? Now I put on, going back to here, this is the guy I've hired. On the very bottom of my job post, they have to reply back to me. And I put this on the very last of here's my job description. This is my whole job description. In your response at the very end, I do this on purpose to see if they're paying attention. In your response, please reply back, I've read everything, or I'll assume you're spamming me. Like that. That simple little hack tells you, if they don't reply back to that, when they reply back to me on the initial conversation, I don't even talk to them. That means your attention to detail isn't there. Remember, it is a little bit of a skill set to learn how to hire people. But this is what I'm trying to show you guys right now. It's not that difficult. You don't need to be perfect at it. But what I'm saying here is, and I'm going to give you this template in the job post right here. If they say, hey, I haven't read everything back to me, I know they weren't paying attention. And a lot of people actually do that. They don't put it, but they're not paying attention, right? They're not paying attention. Another lady, look, these people send me the resume. So I went through a lot of people before I found him. Like when I say a lot of people, a lot of people I touch base with. You can see them all here. So on my guy who I hired, right? This is the guy who I hired. And if you go on Upwork, I prefer Upwork just because I like their interface. I like their platform. Again, you can go to fiverr.com and do the same thing. It's a competitor website. I hire people only overseas. I don't hire people in the US. They're too expensive. I hire people typically in Pakistan, Philippines, South America. Those are my 3 markets I like to hire in. Why do I hire in those markets? Is because the individuals in those markets, our money goes a lot further, right? So if I'm paying them really 120 a week, it's not really 120 a week over there, right? It's 120 a week to me, but it's not 120 a week to them. And you know another thing you can negotiate with these people to sweeten the deal even further? A lot of these people are used to working for 5 days, 5 to 7 days, absolutely free. Trial period. Hey, let's see if you're a good fit. Position yourself like you're a big company. They don't know how big you are. But when you present it to them and you say, hey, look, we have a lot of interest in this position currently right now. You are one of the candidates that have made it to the finalist, right? And finalist candidates. We love to work with you further. One of the requirements we have is we have a small probation period of 5 to 7 days where you work with us, integrate with our team, see how we work together, see if you're a good fit. And after 5 to 7 days, if they are a good fit, then you start paying them from there. See if they're willing to put some work in. This is not an automatically disqualifier, but just see if they're willing to put some work in for free. Again, these countries and overall, they want opportunity. They're hard workers. Julia, I'm glad this is resonating with you. I'm glad that you're getting a lot of value out of this. All right, so I'm going to show you some tidbits. When I go to their profile, I'm going to go to social media or customer. Let's go to customer service. I'm going to act like I'm looking for something new. Any questions so far, guys? Any questions? No questions? All right. So what did I just do? I came to the very, very beginning page. I'm acting like if I'm you guys. I don't have a VA. I haven't never hired a VA. Javier, what do I look for? Okay. One of the things you're going to want to do is when you type in customer service and you're going to assemble your team for PadSplit or Airbnb or your customer service in general, it could be for anything, right? You're going to go ahead and type in customer service at the very top. You're going to hit search. You can search by location. So I'm going to search by location. I'm going to look for my markets that I'm okay with hiring people in. Pakistan. You don't want to hire, you can go Vietnam, you can go Venezuela, you can go Philippines, South America. A lot of people work for cheap over there. If the person is working with a customer on the phone, you want to make sure there's no big language barrier. That's another big thing you want to look for. Philippines. Start marking the areas that you're okay with hiring in. These are the areas I like to hire in. These are the people who are really cheap, really, really cheap per hour, and they have good talent. They have really good work ethics. They're a go-getter. They're gonna put the work in, right? India, you can find some decent ones actually as well. Guatemala. But you get the point. Then you're gonna go, right? Look at this. $5 an hour. $5 an hour. $5 an hour. All right. What you want to do as well is you want to look for, go here to this amount earned. You want to go 10,000 or higher. Why? You want to know that these people have gone through amount of people where they have earned money. This shows how much work they have done on the platform. So that means that this person has earned at least $10,000 on the platform. At $4 an hour, that's a lot of work. So this person shows 100% job success, 20K earned on the platform. Okay, she's got some experience. 98% success, $70,000 on the platform. Okay, perfect. And by the way, this is if you're not making a job post. This is if you're just going out scouting for your own people. I'd like to make a job post because they come to me. This is me going to them the way I have it set up right now. Okay. Get these VAs for cheap. Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. $6 an hour, $50,000 earned, right? Now you can click on our profile. Okay, got one bad review here, not a problem, whatever. No one's gonna have perfect reviews, but you can see exactly what they did. Cold calling for Blackhawk, MPS. I'll take it, right? Cold calling, prospecting, virtual assistant, telemarketing, seeking high, so you can also see when you click on their profile, you can actually see some of them, they'll have resumes on the left-hand side here. So I'll click through him. But typically what I'm looking for is $10,000 or more earned or more. And I want to see that they have a job success rate of 98% or more when I'm hiring. Okay. Look at this, 100% job success rate, 30K earned. This girl's she's out of Philippines. Boom. Native. Talks about, a lot of times they'll have their credentials here on the left side. She's done 13 jobs, 5,465. These are things you want to look at, these metrics. You want these to be high. You want this person to have success. Employment history, drop shipping, customer service, freelancer, customer service representative, Comcast. She worked at Verizon. Wow, this girl's got a lot of experience. Technical support, trainer, Netflix. She's worked for some big companies. So do you think if she can come in and handle your PadSplit stuff? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you hire from Eastern Europe? Yeah, Georgiana, if that's a market where all I'm looking for is, based on the place I hire, is that labor's cheap. I need cheap labor. Okay. So I will hire there if the labor's cheap. All right. So this is how you're going to assemble your customer service team. You're going to find your customer service team and you're going to hire them off of Upwork, or you're going to hire them off Fiverr. And you can hire somebody for anything off these websites. It doesn't have to be customer service. But this is where I get all my VAs from. I have 3 VAs that work for me. I'm going to now go into, how do I manage the VAs? How do I manage the VAs? So I'm going to show you now. This is WhatsApp. This is my exact WhatsApp chat. Everybody can see my screen, right? All right. Any big takeaways so far on Upwork? Any questions about Upwork before I go on to the next one? Drop a 1 if that's been valuable to you. Give me a 1, guys. Remember, we need some interaction in here.
I love that you've got the VAs reporting to VAs.
The what about VA? Sorry.
I love that you got the VAs reporting to another VA, so you don't have to manage all of them.
Yes, correct. So at the end of the day, if you have a VA, you're gonna have to have SOPs in for them. If you don't have somebody manage those VAs, then you're gonna have to manage them. Even so, I have somebody managing my VAs. I still have to get in and get my hands dirty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I still get my hands dirty. I still need to, manage them, oversee some stuff, but I'm not really that hands-on, For the most part, they have everything on the customer service side. And what we do is, if we don't have questions answered, or if they have a question that they have about a property that is not answered, we'll add it to our SOP checklist, that SOP spreadsheet that they get to start answering questions. You see what I'm saying? So, like, for instance, when does the trash go out on 123 Main Street? Oh, wow, I never answered that. Okay, boom, I'll get it there. Now, I try to train them to go ahead and be efficient and look up things, but like, I pay such low dollar amount. My guys aren't perfect. No one's perfect. If you start paying somebody $15, $20 an hour, you're probably gonna get a higher quality person. I'm okay where my person's at 120 a week. It works for my business, right? So you'll start seeing that as you hire people. Never been on Upwork before? Thanks for the crash course. Yep, you're welcome, Jose. All right, so this is how I hire, or how I manage my VAs. We have group chats. You can see group chats with property addresses, okay? Every single group chat has a property address. Sorry, this is mixed in with all my other conversations, but at least you can see I'm being transparent here. So you can see we have property addresses here. So I'm gonna go into one of them here. Boom, right? So my group chats are actually mixed in. Notice how you don't see my name in here? These are my VAs here. This is one of my VAs. This is another VA of mine. Another VA, another VA, another VA. Look at my cleaner reporting stuff to me. Oh, this is missing. Oh, this is missing. Oh, here's pictures, right? Here's my cleaner reporting stuff. Now, that's for, this is for all my properties. They manage everything as far as like my Airbnb properties. They manage all my PadSplit properties, all that stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. They're handling all that. Hey, picked up today. Okay, thank you so much, right? So my VAs will report and talk to each other when packages need to be delivered, right? So they're handling packages here. You guys can see that? Package got delivered. Please note, pick up the towels or pickup is ready. He's letting the cleaner know. This guy is out of Pakistan. Oh, you guys can't see my screen? Okay. Question, screen is not sharing. Oh, that must be on your end. Screen is not sharing. Georgiana, that must be on your end. Sorry. I don't know. It's something on your end. Maybe log in, log back out.
Georgiana, you might have tabbed out on accident. Sometimes shift tab or alt tab might get you back to us.
Yeah. So what I would recommend, Roshana, is go to WhatsApp Business. You don't need multiple numbers, first of all. And these people, if they need to make a call or text, they can use Google Voice number. But this is not a WhatsApp Business profile. I need to switch mine to that. But you can see here, this is my actual, this is my chat that I have with my team here. So these are all my VAs in one chat. This is me and my VAs together. Right? See, like they asked here on here, hey, we don't use any air fresheners. I replied this, guys, by the way. This is me. This is them. This is them. This is them. This is them. I'm in. You know, we do examples. We have everything. So I am hands-on with them in the sense of I do help them out a very little bit, but for the most part, like, remember, I showed you here, if you're looking, the guy that I hired off of Upwork, let me go over here. Just to show you full transparency. This guy right here, this is the guy I hired on Upwork. I pay him 12 bucks an hour and he works 24 hours a day, but I don't pay him 20. We have it calculated towards 12 bucks an hour at $10 an hour, or 10 hours a week on Upwork, and we pay them right through Upwork. So it only maxes out at 10 hours a week. After that, everything, we just have it. That's just the way you have to structure it on Upwork. But for full transparency, you can see here, this is him. This is who I hired, my customer service guy, the head guy. And you see him right here. Look, this is him, Pakistan. Right.
Hey, Javier, something to point out that just came to mind is, would you agree or consider that the reason why that you can get them at such a low rate is that because customer service stuff doesn't take too much time, that they're probably stacking a bunch of projects, a bunch of other clients in a week?
Yeah, he is. This guy right here, guys, just so you know, he's this guy, he just doesn't work for me. So what he does, he's assembled a customer service team in Pakistan, and these guys are like sitting in one room, probably like 20 of them, and they're doing customer service for multiple people. So he doesn't just work for me. Let me clear that up. So he just doesn't work for me. He pretty much does as busy as I keep him, but I'm also able to keep them very busy, and he's also happy with how much I'm paying him. He actually did ask, I'm at 120 a week for the last 6 months. He asked for a small raise recently, which is totally fine. I'll probably go from 120 to 140 to 150 because they've been doing such a good job. But you can see, man, they're on it on here. Like they're on it. They're taking care of all my stuff, right? Right here, look. Sally complained, room 2. I'm showing you right here. Look, this is him. This is the guy off Upwork. He's handling everything. Hey, the door lock's not working. Oh, okay. Really? We're really sorry for that. Please let me check with my handyman and get back with you. So in my WhatsApp group, we have handyman check group. So look, this is my handyman group. So all 3 of my VAs are in my handyman group, and they will coordinate with them. Now you can use other websites like Slack, you can use WhatsApp, whatever you want to keep organized, or you can use the business chat on WhatsApp or the business profile on WhatsApp if you want to be a little bit more organized. I need to convert mine to a business one. But see, you can see that they're doing all the management between the vendors, all the management between the customers, everything. Look at this. I didn't coordinate any of this. You see me coordinating anything in here? Nope. You don't even see my name in this chat. Like I'm in this chat, but you don't see any of it, anything. Every blue moon I might chime in, but very rare that I chime in. They know to reach out if they need anything. They give instructions. They give everything to my team right in here. And that's for the handyman chat. We also have a separate plumber chat. We have a separate electrician chat, right? We have separate chats for each property. So this is a PadSplit property, guys. See here? My cleaners are showing me that the property's clean, right? They're doing all that. Look, my cleaners are showing me before pictures, after pictures of the property. They're doing all that. See, they're coordinating with my team. Guys, remember I told you I hired this lady. Look, full transparency. What did I tell you? I hired her off Thumbtack. Look, this is her. I hired my guys off Upwork. This is them. Right? You can see they're doing all this coordinating for me. Think about all the back and forth messages, guys. I would not be able to spend the time I'm able to spend with you guys these last 3 days, where I've spent 3, 6, 9 hours with you guys in the last 3 days, and be able to hang out with you guys. I'm able to give back and give you guys value and be able to leverage and be able to go on vacation when I want to. And this is all handled. So when you guys are in here, you guys need to hire people off Upwork right away. Spend a couple bucks. I don't care if it's just your first property. So this is why I say, like, one of the things you guys notice I didn't factor in on my sheet yesterday was management. I factored in PadSplit management, but I didn't factor in property management. Because what am I doing? I'm utilizing Janet, my cleaner, as a property manager. I don't tell her she's a property manager. But on my SOP list, one of the things she has to check for is, are there smoke smells? Are there anything that is damaged in the property? Give me an overall condition rating. Send me before and after pictures. So the beautiful thing is even though we have the Ring cameras on the outside, every 2 weeks, we have someone going inside the property, checking on things, making sure it's cleaned. If you have an 8-bedroom property, a 7-bedroom property, you need to have it cleaned bi-weekly. That cleaner needs to report back to you if they smell smoke smells, or maybe there's an extra, there's something out of place or something damaged. They will now get a message from my team here about something is wrong, and then they'll report back. But these are pictures that Janet, you guys have been hearing me talk about Janet. Look at this. This is her, TaskRabbit, errand runner. I'm not doing any of this. So this is what you guys need to create for yourselves. You need to create this so you have a streamlined process and you're not worrying about this. Hey, cleaning and mowing is done for Hanson today. I found several kitchen appliances not cleaned from use, FYI. I also want to check in about payment from last month's cleaning and mowing. I went back and checked my bank account, but didn't see any payments. I'm not doing it. Look, my team is handling all that. Thank you for your message. I will check about that. And by the way, if you see the timestamps, my team is on it. 2:58 p.m., 2:56 p.m. Let me go back here. I'm going to show you this. Remember I talked about 24-hour customer support? Look at this. We have people reach out at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Look at this. Do you want to be bugged with messages at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning? No. That's why it's important. Look at this. Any questions so far? Where do you put this?
Javier, do you know what the difference is between this and the business version of the?
What's that?
Huh?
What's that? The business version it's a little more organized as far as when you have all these chats and stuff going on. It's just a little bit more organized. It's more of like a Slack. I don't know if you're familiar with Slack.
Yeah.
You can manage your teams on Slack, guys, or you can manage your teams on WhatsApp. I like WhatsApp. It's totally free. You don't have to pay. So, and then another thing you want to do is when you're in your shopping list, when I share with you guys are going to want to go and create an Amazon business account. We'll get into more of that in a second. My point here, guys, is look at this. 3:26 a.m., 3:25 a.m. This guy, my guys, VAs, 5:14 a.m., 5:15 a.m., 5:19 a.m., 8:55 a.m. So you can see we're getting messages at that hour. Now, it's not as common, right, to scare you guys, but we do get a lot of messages at those hours. And this is how I'm keeping organized with my team, because we have chats for every single property. We know exactly what's going on in the handyman chat. We know exactly what's going on in this property. We know exactly what's going on in every single property at all times. And my team, every time they have an issue or there's an issue with the cleaner or issue with the guest, they're able to navigate really quickly in between chats and properties because they know exactly how things are titled, right? Go ahead, Julie. What's with your question?
Quick question. So just so I understand how the management goes. So your Pakistani team, they are the ones that manage your local contractors and the cleaning person, Janet, the cleaning person. Is that what I'm understanding? So
yeah, their job is, so once the property's up and running in service, they will take over any vendor calls, any customer service calls. They will take over anything that has to deal with the property. At that point, I want to be as hands off as possible. Remember, you guys want to create a business here. Okay.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
And then for the contractors, like getting the PadSplit build out and stuff like that, I will get involved. Now, if you're doing this at scale, you probably want to hire somebody to handle the contractor portion. I haven't hired anybody to do that. Like, I can still add staff into my business, right? There's room for growth. And as I'm saying, do you think I really want to walk contractors through properties? No, I'm not like Jimmy. He loves that part. He loves going to Home Depot, right? And this is one thing I want Jimmy to work on. He loves going to Home Depot, but he's got to pull back from Home Depot if he wants to continue to scale his business, because his highest and best use is probably not at Home Depot. I don't know. Maybe it is. But my highest and best use isn't in stores. I don't go into Home Depots. I don't shop at stores. I don't do any of that stuff. My highest and best use is not there. My highest and best use is looking for the next deal, building my portfolio, building wealth, doing income producing activities. So make sure you guys want to, do that. Yeah, delegate. Jimmy likes to delegate a little bit, but not too much. He likes to buy the best Milwaukee tools at Home Depot and show us on Instagram and da-da-da-da. But it's all good. That's his thing. I think really he does it more for enjoyment than anything. I know. My man, Jimmy. So, all right. So that's that. Okay. Any questions on my team management? So I talked about where I'm hiring my team, which is an Upwork or Fiverr. You can go either or. I showed you how I'm hiring my team. What am I looking for on Upwork? Okay. And then I showed you on WhatsApp how I actually manage my team in each individual group chat. Every single property has its own group chat. Every single vendor that we work on in each market has its own group chat. Pretty straightforward. You have a plumber, you put all your VAs in the plumber chat. You have an electrician for that market, you put all your VAs in the electrician chat. And then my VAs are on PadSplit, are actually added on PadSplit as a manager. There's a section on here, somewhere on here, team. See right here? You go to your top right. If you haven't downloaded PadSplit yet, or excuse me, signed up for PadSplit, Matt, if you could drop the link in the side chat, make sure you sign up for PadSplit, guys, please. You trust me, it's a great resources on there. But here under team, you can see, again, full transparency. You see that guy that I was telling you about? Come on, internet. Okay, perfect. So right here, look at them. Boom. He manages all my stuff. Management, all that. He does everything. I'm not doing any of that because I want a business, right? So we talked about all those things. Let's talk about the shopping list really quick, okay? I don't know if you guys know or if you guys haven't downloaded it yet, but we're going to be giving this to you guys who attended today as a gift, as a freebie. Was it Melanie? Did you ask about the locks earlier? Melanie? Yeah. Okay, Melanie. So on here, you will see on the very first thing, I have all the locks, right? On my PadSplit shopping list. We're gonna give you guys this away for free. It takes me about a whole entire 1 hour total for me to furnish a 7-8 bedroom property. That's impressive. Because think about all these items. Every single item that you have on here, this shopping list, guys, every single item, your bedroom mattresses, your mattress protectors, your every single thing needs to be purchased for a PadSplit. This is a PadSplit specific shopping list. You can use it for Airbnb too if you want it, but it's more geared toward PadSplit. Okay. Look at this. All this stuff that I use for my properties is on this PadSplit. Look at all these items here. I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. If you go to Amazon.com and you sign up for their business account, which is super important because you can only purchase so many items in a cart at once on a regular profile. They will mark it as scam and they won't let you purchase. Like, for instance, I'll put on my business account, I'll put 90 things in the cart and make a purchase. I think I could do up to 90. On a personal, I had to learn this the hard way. I would add like 50, 60 items. I would purchase it and I keep getting my order denied. It took me forever to figure it out. Called up Amazon. They're like, yeah, this looks like spam. I had to switch to a business account so I could make large purchases and not make it not look like a red flag as well, right? So when you go on here, Melanie, you'll see the first few locks, my favorite locks, all-time favorite. I gave a variety of them. This is my interior locks that I use on the doors, okay? They're $59 a pop. $59 a pop per door, okay? Let me pull in I'm not going to go item by item. If you want to go really cheap, which I don't recommend these, I do see a lot of PadSplit hosts using these. These will break up after time. These are a little bit cheaper. Okay. This is something Jimmy would buy. No, just kidding. But these are also $59, but they're a little bit, they're more, I've felt them before. They don't feel secure. And the member probably is not going to feel secure after a while. It's a little flimsy. You know, I felt one before, so I wasn't a big fan of that. My front door locks, I either use this lock right here, okay, Wi-Fi controlled, or I use the Eufy lock. Okay, Eufy lock. This one I like this one a lot. I've been starting to use this one, this Eufy lock. It's a good budget, $79. By the way, in the shopping list, I have priced out every single item. And I haven't gone with the cheapest stuff, but I've also gone with most economical for your business and not the most expensive. So right here, $79, you get a front door lock. Okay. But this has everything down from A to Z. I think, Jimmy, you might have this shopping list already. Yeah, can't upgrade through Wi-Fi. Annoying, right? You can't upgrade those through the Wi-Fi. So you have to ask yourself, do you want Wi-Fi locks or not? Now, another quick tidbit, if you do Wi-Fi locks for the interior doors, they will kill the batteries a lot faster. You have to keep that in mind. Do you want to replace batteries a lot or not? Right? It's one of the things, give or take. So I have everything down to the T. I'm not going to go through every single item, but you get the point here. I have it broken down from bedrooms to kitchen. Here's everything you need for the bedroom. Here's everything you need for the bathroom. Here's everything you need for the Nest thermostats. Everything that I use. I have the Ecobee thermostats in here that I like to use as well. I even have down to the signage that I use in the property. The no smoking signs. They're right here for you. Please dispose to clean up right here. Signs are right here for you. Laundry room rules. Signs are right here for you. Get them all on Amazon. PadSplit also has a resource tab that they have signs you can print out at like your local Office Depot. You can also print those out and actually hang those around the property. Septic system signs, got them on here. Okay, boom. I even put these signs even at properties that don't have septic systems. I do this as a mental thing, right? They're like, oh wow, it's a psychological thing. Sorry. I do this as they're like, oh snap, oh no, it's got a septic tank, even though it doesn't. I still put this there. I put it right on top of the toilet bowl or right on that wall. These things they have sticky backs. These have sticky backs. Remember that you will have to pull out, you'll have to either put it on the toilet bowl, on the top of the toilet bowl, so it stays there, or screw them to the wall. You want to make sure you don't just use a sticky back because they will fall off eventually. And you don't want to keep having to put them up. And obviously you bought a sign, so it's there. Georgiana, question, is there official PadSplit required shopping list? Yes, the official shopping list is the one that you're looking at right now. This is the official shopping list that I have created. Now, there isn't, for PadSplit requirements in PadSplit, if you go under their resource tab, it will tell you what you need. You need a bed, you need a lamp, you need a mattress, you need pillows, you need 2 forms of egress, and a minimum of 80 square foot. That's all you need for a bedroom on PadSplit. Right? They're not requiring you to put a reach-in closet. Oh, you need a dresser too, sorry. A dresser or a reach-in closet. Now in PadSplit, there are, under the resource tab, there are areas where you can see, like, they have recommendation for vendors under the resource tab. That's why I said it's important. If you go down here in Georgiana, if you go to the PadSplit, you go to resources, you go all the way down, okay? All the way down, items to buy, right here. They have a little items to buy thing. I don't use this personally, but you can. And I have scanned through their stuff. It looks pretty decent. They'll tell you door locks. They'll tell you thermostat, washer, dryer. Theirs is not in depth as mine, nowhere near, but they do have a shopping list here. Right? Buy on Amazon, buy on Amazon, buy on Amazon. Okay? So you can go there if you want. You can also find vendors on there. I haven't used this thing, but we talked about TaskRabbit and we talked about Thumbtack earlier. You can also find vendors on their website here. There's a vendor list somewhere. Read more about hosting, pricing recommendations, letter of intent, PadSplit Marketplace. There's somewhere on here. Oh, here it is. Browse vendors. You can find vendors. What type of vendor do you need? General contractor, Orlando, Florida. Right here, see? David. These are preferred vendors, guys. I have not used any of these people, but you can find vendors under the resource tab. You just type in on the resources on the top. You're gonna type of what vendor you need. Do you need a lender, real estate agent, insurance agent, photographer? These are people who are in their vendor network that understand PadSplit. I can go to view profile. These are recommended vendors. Verified, been on PadSplit since 2024. And then the same rules will apply, guys. You need to cross-reference these vendors to see their credit worthiness, okay? No reviews. They have a review. They're doing coming soon for reviews. All right, so that's the shopping list. All right. Now we're going to go, any questions on the shopping list really quick before I go into this next section? Yes, lots of time savers. All these little tidbits, guys, are time savers. Think about all the time you're going to save in the course of your journey in PadSplit. Another thing, remember, it takes me about 39 days. My fastest one's been 39 days to get it up on PadSplit from the time I close on the property. So if I'm doing it in 39 days and it's your first one, you might want to maybe cut that and double it up. See if it makes you maybe take you double that time for your first one. But here's the thing. We have created guides. If you guys use these guides, I promise you, you are going to streamline the process so much more. You might be thinking like, oh, I got my first one. I don't know if I want to hire a VA. Trust me, you need your time back. Buy your time back. You want to create a semi-passive business and you don't want to be where like, hey, I'm so balls to the wall. I'm so overwhelmed with this. It's really going to help alleviate some of the stress. It's going to help alleviate you having to be, paying attention to the chats, all that stuff. Trust me, it's a game changer. By the way, it took me years and years and years to find the value in a VAs. I was the hard-headed knucklehead guy who it took forever to hire VAs. Forever. Any questions? I'm gonna take a sip of water really quick. Any big takeaways so far? Drop them in the chat, please. Any big takeaways? Drop them in the chat. Let me hear from you guys. I want to know you're paying attention. I know Jimmy has his audio muted. Hire VAs to give me time to do other things. Perfect. Or focus on other deals. Thank you. Thumbtack for the win. Perfect. Perfect. Any other big takeaways? Any other big takeaways? No? Yes? Just downloaded WhatsApp. Perfect. Using WhatsApp for VA management. You can use WhatsApp. You can use Slack. Depends. Slack will cost you, but you can use WhatsApp Business. Use Javier's list since it's tried and true. Let's go. Upwork. Absolutely. Great takeaways. Great takeaways. Too many to list. Perfect. Love it. All right. So once you have all the furniture, you've hired the person off TaskRabbit to push in boxes for you every single day. Okay. What do you do next? Well, I'm here to tell you guys, I have another SOP for you, a standard operating procedure. Okay. This right here, if you go to here to my another gift that we're going to give you, these are a couple mini gifts we're going to give you. And go where we're going to give you access to these guys. You got to stick to the end. Don't forget. So on your standard operating procedure, on your premium PadSplit furniture assembly list, now that you have all these boxes, it's very overwhelming. And you're like, man, this TaskRabbit person's been pushing boxes in my house for the last week and a half. The last time I looked inside my house, or she sent me a picture, the whole entire living room is full of boxes. What do I do now? Do I organize them? Do I open them up? Do I label them? How do I know all inventory has showed up? What do you do next? Well, what I do is I go on Amazon. I make sure that my whole entire order has been delivered before I send my team there, my furniture assembly team there to assemble furniture. I'm going to go back on TaskRabbit really quick to show you guys. I got get my furniture assembly people off TaskRabbit. Where's this guy at? Can't remember who this name is. Let me see. He charges me. Oh, here he is, right here. Abdul. Internet's moving a little slow. All right. This guy right here. I hired him to assemble all of my furniture. He charged me for the first project I hired him. He charged me $1,500. So by the way, what I've done is I've gotten this down to the penny pretty much. A good rule of thumb when you guys are underwriting your deals, it's about $1,000 per room for furnishings. Once you factor in your mattress, once you factor in your bed frame, once you factor in the mattress protectors, the TV, the refrigerator, the desk, the office chair, it's a good rule of thumb to use is about $1,000 per room. If you're doing big rooms like the garage, those are going to be about $1,200 to $1,300. Because remember, my garage rooms, what did you guys see yesterday? I'm actually adding 40-inch screen TVs. I'm adding a coffee table. I'm adding a nice little sofa in there. I'm adding a TV stand. I'm adding a couple other amenities in the room. Okay. Good rule of thumb is $1,000 per room. So keep that in mind. So this individual, I hired out Thumbtack. Okay. Spent, made an inquiry to like 2 people. He replied back. I've gotten quotes to assemble. I'm not kidding you. I've gotten quotes to assemble a 7 to 8 bedroom property, $6,000 to $12,000. That is insane. Remember, what are we talking about here today? Today's big topic is system and processes, how you streamline things. Well, I need to hire, now that I have all this furniture in the property, all these boxes, I need to hire someone to go in there and assemble it. How do I find that person? Thumbtack and TaskRabbit. I need to find somebody to go in there and assemble all the furniture. Another thing I make these guys include in their estimate is remove all the boxes and all the trash. So when they do their furniture assemblies, they're going to assemble every single room, put the door numbers on, put all the signs up. They're going to put all the door locks on. Okay. They're going to do all that for me. And then I have what I call a quality control person come in, which is my TaskRabbit Janet. Okay. You guys know Janet now. I've talked about her several times. She now comes in and does quality control. Are all the beds assembled properly? Are all the linens, or all the beds have the correct quilts on them? Linens, do they have 2 mattress protectors on them? Do the pillows have 2 pillow protectors on them? Why do I put 2? Because somebody pees on the bed or throws up on the bed. This is one of the most expensive assets in the room. If the first one fails, you want to make sure that second mattress protector doesn't fail. It's just more likely to mitigate some risk, okay? So this individual, I hired him right off TaskRabbit, right? Same thing. Message him, hey, can you send me an estimate of the job? Good evening, Javier. I saw you have an assembly project that needs to be done. I'll be more than happy to serve you with the best quality work for fair prices. We can start by sending you, can you start by sending me pictures of the items and the location of the property? Boom. Right here is where you guys are going to send these individuals your property assembly list. I'm going to go through that in a second. Room by room, I have every single item in every single room that needs to be assembled. Okay? See that? You guys with me? You with me? Anyone? Jimmy? You with me? Or are you sleeping? All right. So I send them by text. When I send out that text, this guy, Abdul, is going to get my furniture assembly list. This right here. Okay. I put right here, I will send you a Google link showing you each room layout so you can provide a quote. Call me in a little bit. I want to discuss it with them over the phone, by the way. I don't want this just to be over a text conversation. Pick up the phone, build rapport, guys. Hey, Abdul, how's it going? I'm a local PadSplit operator. I'm scaling my portfolio in the local area, and I would love to make you one of my preferred vendors. I send you over a Google link drive. Can you take a look at that? Hey, do you have it pulled up? Okay, great. Yes, I do have it pulled up. Hey, let me just talk through this with you a little bit. We're going to kind of talk through it with a little bit with them. We got all the packages delivered to the property. You're more than welcome to go to the property if you want to give a quote, or you can give a quote based on the Google Doc that I just sent you. Whatever makes most sense for you. Oh, okay, great. Hey, I'll go to the property. I'll take a look at it as well. All right, fine. Here's the door code. All right, I'm not going to even meet them there. So I sent this guy by text. Do you see this? I sent him by text, and I sent him the Google Doc by text, and I sent it to him by the Thumbtack application. Right? Please click the link to see the scope of work. This is what I sent him. Please send me a quote and the time that will take to complete the job. Guys, for a 7-bedroom house, 7 to 8 bedrooms, I expect no more than 3 days for my guys to be in there, to build the furniture, to assemble it, put the door locks, put the signs up where they need to be, and out of there. Okay? 3 days. 4 is okay, but if anything above 4, it's way too long. 2 to 3 days it takes. If somebody's efficient, no one knows what they're doing, 2 to 3 days. I can call you tomorrow to discuss if you're available. And if you have a better quality picture of the layout, that would be great. So on the furniture assembly list, guys, I actually include the layout of the property. He knows exactly where each bedroom is, what he's building, every single product. So I put here on the furniture assembly list, scope of work, handyman services, assemble the furniture, assemble furniture for 8 bedrooms, right? Install door locks, door numbering, dispose of trash and boxes, right? Smoke detectors installation, sign hanging, bed setup, artwork hanging, installation of hanger poles, miscellaneous. Any other minor task related to setting up and finished touches of the bedrooms are necessary. Note, this is what I put as a full disclosure. The handyman is expected to provide all necessary tools and equipment for the job and ensure that the work is completed to a high standard and within the agreed time frame. The following slides below are subject to change. It could be a little different from the actual product that's at the property, right? I make sure I have that. Bedroom 1, boom. Items in the bedroom number 1. So what am I doing here, guys? He already knows, without even needing to visit the property, he knows the scope of work, and he knows what every single bedroom looks like, what it looks like here. Okay? He knows what items go in each bedroom. How do they place the photo in the room? So, Rashana, I have a SOP for them when they look at the furniture. They know that to put the bed on the longest wall in the room. Now, sometimes every once in a while, like if you're putting furniture together, typically you know not to put a bed in front of a window. It's kind of like common sense. So now that tells me if the person I'm hiring, do they have common sense? If they don't, that's okay. I actually have an SOP for that right now. I'm about to get to, Rashana. You'll see in a second. Bedroom 2, all the items. Bedroom 3, all the items. Bedroom 4, all the items. All the items. Bedroom 5, bedroom 6, so on and so forth, right? Everybody see this? Everybody see this? All the things that, all the stuff that's included, all my fire and safety stuff, all my my blanket, everything. Front door lock, laundry room, signs, where to put the signs at. Outdoor patio set. I only do that for private patios. Okay. Roshana, are you there? So check this out. Goal, create a functional, the answer to your question. All right, boom. I already have it here. But bedroom staging blueprint to maximize space. Goal, create a functional and visual appealing bedroom layout that maximizes the space and ensures comfort and accessibility, right? Boom, already got it there. So look at this. You asked, guess what? I already have it there. I beat you to it. I already have this in the SOP. Bedroom layouts. This is how they get laid out. Bed frame, positioning, placement, centered on the longest wall of the room. This placement acts as the focal point and allows easy access for both sides, right? Orientation, headboard against the wall to leave open space around the bed, enhancing the bedroom's flow. Nightstand, placement next to the bed on the side closest to the door, if applicable. For convenience, orientation, parallel to the bed. Look, I already have it here for you guys. I'm giving you guys all this. So when you hire someone like Abdul off of TaskRabbit, you can freaking give this SOP to him in a document. You want to assemble 8, 9 bedrooms? You say, hey, all the furniture has arrived at the property. How do you know if it's arrived? You check your Amazon order list. They will tell you when everything has arrived. When everything's arrived, you then pass this SOP Google document off to your furniture assembly list. How do you know who to hire? You go to TaskRabbit, you go to TaskRabbit, and you go to Thumbtack. Oh, well, guess what? This guy's got 98 reviews. This guy got hired, Abdul, right? Look, I can see he's been hired for many other jobs and assembly stuff, hanging up stuff, okay? Furniture assembly, hanging lights. I'm going through his reviews, putting kid stuff together, putting mirrors on the wall, putting artwork on the wall. Seems like he's this is right up my alley that I need. Hanging TVs, perfect. Building little garage little workshops, fixing doors, hanging artwork. He's done all this. Furniture assembly, right? Why wouldn't I hire this guy? Got great reviews, done a background check, right on Thumbtack. So I hired this guy. He did my first property for $1,500, which was a 8-bedroom property. So remember this, guys, when you're doing your underwriting, you're about $1,000 a room, okay? And then you're on the first property, he did, let me move this. Where's my calculator? Okay. For the first property, he did $1,500. And the second property had a little bit more furniture, even though it was one less bedroom. He did $2,300, plus it was a little bit further of a drive. So the first property is in Jacksonville, Florida. He assembled that. And then he drove all the way, which is 45 minutes south of that. He drove into Palm Coast. In that market, it was 45 minutes away. Instead of me going out and asking and trying to vet and find somebody or to put the furniture together for me, I asked him first. And guess what? I asked my contractors who work in Jacksonville if they can come to Palm Coast to work for me. Instead of me doing all this scouting and trying to find a new team, I asked them first because they were 45 minutes away. And guess what? Every single person I asked, they all took on the job. I didn't have to go out and go on Thumbtack again. I didn't have to go out and go on TaskRabbit again. But he's at 1,500 for 8. That's $187 a room for a furniture assembly. In addition to your furniture purchasing. Remember, $1,000 a room for furniture. That's just for the furniture. Who's going to assemble it? Are you going to do it? Or are you going to hire somebody to do it? I recommend you hire somebody to do it, especially if you're doing this in other markets. So I'm at $187 room for labor to furnish to assemble the furniture. It could cost more than that, guys. I've seen people quote 6 to 12 grand. Freaking knuckleheads thought I was going to hire them. It's crazy. So factor in a good rule of thumb. I would say 200 to 225 a room per room. This includes the kitchen. This includes them putting up the signs, putting up the door locks, doing all the miscellaneous stuff in the house. You can factor in a good rule of thumb about 200 to 225 a room for labor to assemble the furniture. That's on top of your furniture cost at 1,000. Now, how much are you at per room? You're at pretty much 1,200, 1,225 per room in cost. See how it adds up? That's why it's important. You do your underwriting. You understand. Don't give me that face, Jimmy. You ain't getting it cheaper than that, bro. So you're at 1,200. Let's say 1,225 per room. Let's say you're doing 8 bedrooms. You're at $10,000 between labor and furniture cost. If you're doing 8 rooms, it's $9,800 just for that. Any questions so far? Has this been helpful? Yes, no, maybe so. Super. Eddie said super. What's up, Eddie? Definitely helpful. Virginia, definitely helpful. Appreciate you. So check this out. I'm going to get to this last part of the SOP. This last page, this is just, again, Rashana asked earlier, how do they know where to put the furniture? I have that here for you already. You're going to pass this on to the team. Okay? You guys are going to get a copy of this. I'm going to give you this for free as well. I'm going to give you the shopping list for free as a gift for you guys attending. I'm going to give you guys this furniture assembly list for free for attending. Okay? All right. So, all right. Let's see. I'm going to take a sip of water. Let me know if you guys have any other questions before I move on. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into a quick Q&A session. If anyone has a question, it could be about the last 3 days, today's topic. Let's roll into a Q&A session really quick. I want to make sure everybody has clarity on everything that I have discussed. By now, you should be 100% confident as a PadSplit operator. You know how to acquire the property. You know how to underwrite the property. You know how to assemble teams. Okay. There's been
Sorry, Javier. I'm putting the list together for the 10K giveaway right now. So to get the extra 10 entry points for today, day 3, while you guys are about ready to dive into the Q&A, pull your phones out real quick, take a quick screenshot, share it over on Instagram, take like 2 to 3 minutes doing that if you haven't already. I'm adding the names to the list right now. So once Q&A is over with, and Javier announces a special gift, we're going to give away one lucky winner, the 10K giveaway prize. So I just wanted to make that announcement. I've got, so far I've got Jose, I'm going to say this wrong again. Melanie. Oh, I said it right there. Right. I don't know why I read it the other way. I don't know why. We've got Jose, Orterio, Julie, days 1 and 2. We got Eddie from today. or from yesterday. So just make sure you get those screen shares on Instagram, tag Javier. We'll get the extra 10 entries in for you guys. Let's do it all now. And then I'm looking forward for a powerful Q&A.
And also don't forget, if you haven't already, we're putting out roughly about 3 new videos every single week on YouTube. You can see a lot of the past projects that I've done. We have recorded them on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, The Real Javier Paredes, and you subscribe, like and subscribe, you will see all the upcoming videos and the ones that I have done. A lot of the projects that I've been talking about these last 3 days, we've actually recorded the before and after. If you want access to those, please go to my YouTube channel and you'll have access to them. All right, so let me go ahead and bring up the first person for Q&A. Who do we have? Anybody have any questions from day 1, 2, or 3 before we roll into the prizes and the giveaway that we're going to be doing at the very end of today? No questions.
I'll ask a question, Javier.
What's up, Eddie?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, bro, you just not popping on here after 3 days?
Long story.
Come on, man. I don't want to hear the excuses.
uh,
What's up, Papa?
hey, hello to everyone, and thanks, Javier, man. This is like, wow. I wish I would have been on all the time. Just one thought. The walls, the existing walls, the insulation, any concerns there?
No, the existing walls, no. The insulation, no. Absolutely. Those are going to stay as is. You're not going to touch that. The only thing you're going to do with the new walls that you're putting up is you're going to want to soundproof them with soundproof insulation, and you're going to want to offset the 2x4s so you can soundproof the walls. Now, here's the important thing. If you don't do that, the problem is if you have a wall that's adjoining between either a lot of foot traffic, like a hallway, or you have another member sharing that adjoining wall, you will, I promise you will get complaints, and those complaints will lead to vacancies. So if you tell a contractor, I want to soundproof that wall, they should know what to do, right? Are you familiar with, have you seen a wall without drywall before? So
Yes.
you know how they put the 2x4s every 16 inches along the wall?
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually what the drywall actually gets attached to, right? Well, when you soundproof a wall, they actually will take one 2x4 here and they'll stagger them. So instead of them going straight in a row, they actually stagger them. They'll put one here, then they'll put one here, then they'll put one here, they'll put one here, they'll put one here, they'll put one here. The reason why they do that is so the drywall doesn't share this 2x4s, and it helps mitigate sound, right? And then if you also do that on top of putting, you could go with regular insulation if you want in the walls, or you can go soundproof insulation. Soundproof insulation is a little bit more expensive, but again, you just want to mitigate those noise complaints. I think you'll be fine as well with regular insulation. I have done a project that I've done with regular insulation. I haven't had any complaints yet, but if you go regular insulation, that should be fine as long as you're doing the offsetting of the 2x4s and you're doing some type of insulation inside that wall. That way it helps mitigate noise traveling through the wall.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sweet. No problem, brother. Good seeing you, by the way.
Same here.
Hey, good seeing you. Jose, man, go ahead. If you guys have a question, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Go ahead, Jose.
How are you, Javi?
What's up, Papa?
Good, good. So, you mentioned that you have your VAs in place to handle like complaints with the members or noise complaints, smoking, whatever. How do you handle complaints coming from your actual neighbors, like parking issues or, parties or anything like that coming from your next door neighbor? Obviously, your VAs are in another country.
Yeah.
Right. How do you handle that?
Well, good question. Well, first of all, we're very proactive, right? So one thing, first, remember, I spoke about yesterday, my properties don't look like used car sales lots. We only allow, for instance, if I have 8 bedrooms, I only allow 4 people to bring a car. On PadSplit, once my 4 spots are taken up, when somebody's searching as a member, they can no longer, my property will not appear to them because it shows that I have no parking spots available and they have a vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 8 bedrooms, the good rule of thumb is you want to do 4 parking spots. You could do 5, 5 is fine. But if you start going over 5 and you have 8 vehicles at your property, it's just too much. The likelihood that you have that amount of parking spaces available, it isn't really likely.
So
really.
once your 4 parking spots are taken, your property is not going to show to anybody
Correct. It
that's
won't
looking
show.
with a car.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. So a good rule of thumb is you need to have at least 4 parking spots. You need to have at least, if you have 8 rooms, you need to at least have 4 parking spots. To have
So if,
50%.
if you have 6 rooms, then 3 parking
Correct.
spots at least. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So how do you interact with your next door neighbors at all, or how do you handle that? If
No, I
somebody
don't-
has if your neighbor has a complaint, who does he address it to?
If the neighbor was going to have a complaint, they're going to be speaking to me. I'm going to get involved. They're not going to speak to my VAs. I want to make sure I'm the person talking to them. Now, remember, my place doesn't look like a used car lot. You mentioned a second ago, parties. We don't allow parties, bro. There ain't no one going to come into my property and party. I can tell you that right now. Right? Like, I'm going to make an example. Real life story. We had a new member check into one of my properties 2 days ago. One of the first qualifying questions I ask every single member before they get into my property is, are you familiar with co-living, and have you read the co-living membership agreement that you signed? A lot of them just sign it and they don't read it. So PadSplit has this very well laid out document that they have to sign. Talks about like, this is for single individuals. Here's the co-living environment. Here's what entails in the co-living environment. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't. So they've done a great job of putting that together. And so my qualifying question to them through the messenger, my VAs are, have you read the co-living agreement that you signed? Well, guess what? He said yes the first day he moved in. 2 days later, we see that there's a guest over, right? So we confront him very professionally. Hey, just want to remind you of the PadSplit membership agreement that you agreed to. And we want to remind you that this is a co-living environment and guests aren't allowed. He replied back, oh, well, this is just my tutor. Don't matter if it's your tutor, your mom, your cousin, your auntie, your nephew, your son. It don't matter. This is for single individuals only. There's no guests allowed. And the only person who should be on premises is the members to the property. That's it. Okay. So we reminded him very professionally and let him know about the environment to refer back to the PadSplit agreement that he signed. Well, guess what? We were able to see that he had a guest over because we had cameras on the exterior of the property. We saw an individual parked a car that is not registered under that property. We were able to catch that and we were able to confront him about it. And he didn't like that. Hey, I wasn't able to have my tutor over. Even though it's a tutor, it doesn't matter. We don't allow it. So as far as neighbor complaints, I'm not going to get them. You know why? Because my place is not a used car lot. Plus my cameras are being monitored. We're monitoring our properties, even though that we're not physically in these markets. We're monitoring because we have cameras on all angles of the properties on the exterior.
Who monitors that? Your VAs monitor the cameras?
With ring.com.
Yeah.
You can add anybody. I can add you as a user and you can see my cameras.
And that goes also for the wireless entry doorknobs and all that, and thermostat.
Yeah, thermostat, once it's set, I have access to it. It's locked, never need to change it again. It's set it and forget it. That's that type of thing. The door locks are all Wi-Fi, so we can change those remotely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, so yeah, again, if a neighbor complaint ever arises, just so you know, I would definitely be reaching out to that neighbor via phone call if I have their phone number, be talking to them. I want to butter them up, sending them a gift basket. Oh, did I lose you?
No, that was me, Javier. I was just taking off the screen share since.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm here. So that's what I'm asking. Do you introduce yourself to the neighbors at some point, or once that situation arrives,
No,
if it arrives, then
if their son arrives, then we'll make a point to reach out to the neighbor. But no, I'm
okay.
no, not at all. I'm not going to the neighbor and say, I'm running a co-living business next. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't need to do that. Right. Again, also, I'm making sure, what did I talk about yesterday? I'm positioning my properties where they're not on top of each other. They're very private. The one that I just did, I have only one neighbor. It's the guy across from me. There's no neighbor to the right and there's no neighbor to the left. There's only a guy across from me. My other one in Jacksonville, there's a neighbor to the left of me and there's a neighbor to the right of me. There's no neighbor behind me. So when I'm looking at my properties and I'm on the Google map, I'm strategically looking to see where the neighbors are at, how close they are. I don't want neighbors right on top of me and I want privacy, right? See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's another important thing to look at. Do you have a Karen in your neighborhood? Does everyone have St. Augustine? Remember, if you're doing this in like a C- neighborhood, C neighborhood, typically there's neighbors that are like throughout the neighborhood. Like you'll have the ones that really upkeep their home really, really nice. And then you'll have other neighbors that are like parking cars all in their yard, right? So your house, as long as it's really well kept on the outside, it's going to look like you're really being a good homeowner. You know what I mean? You don't have a lot of cars. You don't have properties. Believe it or not, think about this, Jose. These members, they're never home, bro. They spend 50% of their lives out there working to pay your bills. They're never home. They're at work. A lot of them work 2 jobs. A lot of them don't have a vehicle. 40% of them don't have a vehicle. So really their house is there for them to go and sleep and eat and shit and leave. You know, that's it.
Right. Got it. All right, brother. Thanks for everything. Awesome 3 days. Thanks for
Man,
the value,
shit.
man.
Awesome.
Great information.
What was your biggest takeaway?
Oh, so many. Today was a big day because one of the things I always struggle with is managing. You're doing it essentially hands off. And
Yeah.
that's a big one for me. That is a big one. That's a skill I need to learn. And you're just laying it all out there, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions, guys? Raise your hand. Go ahead, Eddie. Management was a key takeaway, according to Rashana. Thank you. Go ahead, Eddie.
That I couldn't get the mic. That idea of not having anybody else in the house other than the members, would there ever be like a situation where you would do something so that there is some of that? And I'm thinking more on the outside.
Give me an example.
Somebody visiting the person, and maybe some requirements in place where there's minimal, during certain hours. We're looking to later on, probably not right away, think about the outside area, and
yeah, we don't allow visitors at all. Not on the premises, not on the property. That's even through all the property lines, like if you have like a member moving in, and make an example, and they need help moving a dresser and their buddy Bob was helping to move a dresser, then that's okay. But they got to be in and out of the house, right? We're monitoring that.
Yeah, I was just thinking out for outside mainly.
If the member has a friend outside in a car or they're talking on the driveway, is that okay? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm getting more to like a visit, like an hour visit, something to that effect.
Well, it's
to
up to
create
you.
More, huh?
It's up to you. Really?
Yeah. No, I'm just getting some ideas from you, I guess. Just I'm thinking the answer is probably like you're saying, up to us, up to how we can manage it. If we really see any value to it, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If it's up to you, if you feel that that's making them more of a home, we try to keep it very uniform.
Okay, so let me ask you another question that I had kind of in mind. So, the idea of the common area, I think you had talked a little bit about, like we were doing like the living room, split it in two bedrooms. We're talking, wait a minute, we might not have enough room in the kitchen area, maybe not enough like for like a dining area, which would be like either small tables, maybe even like bar tables, but
Yeah.
maybe thinking of leaving that's living room split for some common area. So we're looking at, if we did everything, we split everything, it's 11 rooms. And it's two floors. And I'm even thinking about like the upstairs, leaving a little bit of a, looking to see how much common areas we have.
Okay.
And I think you were saying something like a little desk at some of these common areas, like 2 or 3 desks, let's say, in a space of like a bedroom size.
Yeah, if you could do a room, I mean, if you could do the desks in the rooms, that's more preferable because it's private desks, right? And you could charge more, right? You could charge another $5 a week because you have a private desk. $5, $10 a week. Somebody's going to value that. Somebody who's studying, somebody who works from home, they're going to value that. See what I'm saying?
And I think what we're thinking is the idea of, creating a little bit of an environment where the person doesn't like feel like they have to be stuck in their rooms all the time, while at the same time, of course, not, congregating, like with a sofa or anything like that, but just like maybe in a room size open area, which would be like a common area, maybe like
you can do
3
that.
workstations.
Yes, you can do that.
Be like eating, like in the kitchen area, I'm thinking of like little bar top tables, like round little tables that they could put their food not only in the counter, but come over here, eat standing up. And we, and then we're gonna, of course, think about the decorations and things. But I wanted to go ahead.
I say you certainly can do that. You can do
I was just thinking, if I understood you right that time when you were saying like have some like areas where they can sit down to eat, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. You could do a little common area with desks and stuff like that. If you can't fit them in the rooms, make use of the space. 100%. Or you could do that area with like little lockers for people's stuff or like little pantries. There you go.
We thought about that. We're gonna look at the cabinets in the kitchen, and then ideally maybe even that common area has like stand, long, tall cabinets, and it's kind of their little areas that each one has, because what I keep hearing is the idea of no conflicts, so that they can stay.
Yep. Yeah, no, for sure.
And then the idea of comfort, where they feel a little bit like they can, be outside their room and sit somewhere. That's why we're thinking of the outside too.
Yeah, for sure. I have a one room that a couple rooms that attach to like a little stoop area where I put a couple chairs. That person that rents that room can walk out there and sit and get some sun or read a book, So
did you talk about in these days like a little bit about like patios, porches, things like that?
I did.
And the idea is just to have a little bit of a seating area, something like that.
You can make that an outdoor seating area for everyone if you wanted, or just eliminate it entirely, It really depends on the vibe you're trying to create in the home. It's important that you understand that, the idea is to make it not too inviting where people want to invite their friends over to hang out.
Got it.
Kind of have that happy medium.
It's a tough one, yeah.
So if you're okay with that and you have that risk tolerance and you want to go that route, then go that route, try it out. And if it becomes a problem, move it, take it away.
Adjust.
Yeah, just adjust. That's what I would do. Take it away. So.
Oh, okay.
Georgiana asked me, is the PadSplit like Section 8? No, it's two different things. Section 8 subsidized housing. This has nothing to do with Section 8. Nothing to do with Section 8. If you have a co-living, Rashana asks, if you have a co-living that you manage outside of PadSplit. Can you, oh yeah, you can set your own rules. Yeah, if you're not, yep, exactly. So Matt just dropped the 3-day student guide, guys, for you guys in the chat. I'm going to actually roll in. Doesn't look like there's any more questions. I'm going to go ahead and roll into the giveaways, being that you guys have been so patient these past 3 days. I would first like to thank everyone for participating, being involved, having your cameras on, tagging me in these Instagram stories. You guys have no idea. That is emotional currency for me. I love teaching. I love showing people and paving them the way for them to get to financial success, right? This is beautiful. And we're actually a community. This is a community right here. We're actually helping each other. I never come in here like, hey, I know it all. I can learn off of you guys. We can all learn off each other. We all get to collaborate. So you guys doing that, me seeing the questions come through and seeing you guys interact, I'm telling you, so freaking amazing. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Don't forget, tag me in the stories if you can, if you felt like this is valuable. Let me get a for a show of hands really quick, just so I know. So last 3 days, we talked about a lot. We talked about underwriting. We talked about deal acquisitions. We talked about SOPs. Who for a show of hands, who would get lots of value off of getting weekly calls and coaching on underwriting, if that's something that would help you out with future deals? For show of hands, throw a 1 in the chat, actually, because I know not everybody has their camera on. Would that be a value to any of you guys, getting weekly support of me actually going in, helping you guys with, getting your questions answered as far as underwriting? Yep. One. Okay, cool. What about SOPs, standard operating procedures? You guys can see I'm pretty organized with my businesses, right? SOPs, is that a good thing? Do you guys like how I've created processes that we can pass over to our new people that we hire to do these? Was that valuable for anyone? No? Yes? Drop a 1 in the comments if you think that would be really valuable for you to take with your business, because I'm going to keep creating those. These are stuff that I will keep creating. What about PML? We talked about a little bit about PMLs and PMPs. Would that be a value if we continue to talk about how we can find our PMLs and how we can talk about and find our PMPs and stuff like that? Drop a 1 if that would be super valuable for you, right? There's a lot of value, so I love it. I love it. So you guys are giving all the love. So I'm glad that you guys find value out of all this. This is super, super awesome. And this, like I said, this gives me the fulfillment seeing you guys and helping you guys and stuff like that. So Matt's going to go in the giveaway really quick here in a second. But before we get into that, a lot of you guys might know, and some of you guys are in here. Some of you guys are actually in my Be Bold investing community. I don't know, a few of you guys, I think Jose, Rashana, a few of you guys there. You guys can see how much value I get to deliver for you guys there. So like I said, I'm giving you guys a freaking awesome gift. Not only am I going to give you the PadSplit shopping list, I'm also going to give you the SOPs and all the student guides and stuff like that. So I actually have opened up just a few months ago one of the biggest, fastest growing real estate communities on School. I don't know if you guys know or are familiar with Alex Ramosi. He has been promoting School like crazy. Like, it's just like the new social platform. Anyway, so we actually run a community on there. It's called Be Bold Investing. We're actually up to 102 members currently right now. And let me go back to the about page. I don't know why that went like that. We're up to 102 members right now, and we have tons of success. Jessica was in the day 1, and she actually has done 3 deals in the community. 1 gap funding. She's working with a flipper, and she's doing other couple deals that we're actually able to help her. Actually, Jose, funny enough, who was actually just on the camera. He's actually on the leaderboard right here, bro. Jose, give it up, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for showing the love. And so we actually have created this big value for you guys. And actually in the community, I actually have several things. I know you guys probably heard me talk about Airbnb for a second. I have my Airbnb accelerator course in there. I have my PadSplit mini masterclass in there that actually goes into way more in depth. I appreciate you too, Jose. I appreciate you, brother. That actually goes way more in depth than I actually went these past 3 days. There's actually a lot to cover, and I really try to jam pack it in there. The Mac Daddy Vault, we actually do our live calls, and I'll show you on the calendar here in a second. We do live calls every single week. I go live once a week with the community, and then so does Matt. Matt has been my freaking backbone. He's been there for me since day one, man. All that marketing you guys see, Matt does something that's called a Savvy Tuesday, where he's actually able to help you get your profile pictures up to date, monetize your Instagram, monetize your YouTube. All my stuff that you guys see in the back end, that's not me doing it. Remember, I talked about leverage. Matt is actually my backbone when it comes to marketing. He is the marketing genius, and he does the Tech Savvy Tuesdays. I actually go live on Thursday, I go live on Thursdays helping the community out. A lot of you guys mentioned just now, you would love to have somebody on your hip for underwriting. You would love to have somebody help you create SOPs. You would love for someone to help you talk through PML deals or talk to sellers. I have helping a couple students talk to sellers right now. I can help you guys talk directly to sellers, structure term deals like seller finance, or structure a subject to deal. All that's actually happening every single week inside the community. Matt is about to drop in his digital marketing mastery course that he's working on. That's actually about to go live. And then we have the $1 million vault and the Mac Daddy Vault. Everything that we do, we actually record it, and we actually throw it in there so you guys can actually go back and actually learn every single day without us having to be there every single time. So that's everything in there. And then on the classroom course, if you come in here, guess what? We just completed a 3-day challenge. Everything we've done, we've recorded it, and it will actually be right here in the 3-day challenge. My B&B accelerator, that's actually in there as well. I actually did a 7-week. I created this course about 4 years ago. I actually have that in the classroom where you can actually go, if you guys are thinking about ever scaling into an Airbnb business, which that's also another business of mine. You can actually see everything that I do. I talk about pitching to landlords. I talk about handling objections. I talk about rental arbitrage. I talk about, on week 3, furniture and staging, the furnishing and staging process. On week 4, we also talk about how to list your property. Week 5, assembling and cleaning. So very similar to the PadSplit shopping list as well on there. And that's in there as well in the classroom. The PadSplit mini course, boom, that's all in here too. Get started here. Even though that we try to jam pack as much as possible these last 3 days, that was crazy, man. I can't believe we pulled that off. Like the last 3 days, like a lot to jam pack. I really try to give it to you guys, and it's just so much to unpack. Anyways, so much more in here that I have gone more in depth, and I actually have videos play by play on exactly how I'm utilizing a lot of the things that I'm utilizing. Okay. In the PadSplit course. What is PadSplit? Creating your buy box. So I have video here, creating your buy box. Did a video about that. If you guys ever need something to reference back to. Analyzing different PadSplit markets, video there. Dealing, underwriting, and acquisitions, video there. Hiring contractors. We talked about contractors today. Video there. We talked about shopping and staging the property. Video there. All that stuff, boom, all right there in the PadSplit mini course. In the classroom, in the vault there, or in the classroom on the school community. Our Mac Daddy Vault, our weekly recordings. Here's March, here's April. Matt, we've had this open since what, January or February, I believe. I think it's February. So we've had this community open since February.
Yeah. I would say end of February, early March, if you scroll up to the top. Okay. I think you're March 21st was the first call.
Sweet. So we actually have every single call that I've done that you guys can reference back on. So we talk about here, get your next deal. We have here all these different calls that we have done, Tech Savvy Tuesdays. It's all been recorded. We throw these into the vault so you guys can take advantage of and actually reference back every single time you come in. On the calendar as well, on the classroom, you'll have the digital mastery that Matt is about to upload in there, showing you guys how to monetize your YouTube channels, how to monetize your Instagram, how to monetize your TikTok. He's done all mine. He's actually grown my follower count, or my subscription count on YouTube from 70. I'm almost at 500 subscribers on my YouTube count since we've been monetizing since January, which has been fantastic. I'm really happy with that. And then the $1 million vault that Matt has put together as well, the coaching vault. I don't know if you guys know, Matt has worked for some of the biggest influencers, and he has actually pieced together a lot of the stuff that he has, because he's been a coach for these influencers and their students. So he actually has pieced all that together and he's put it in here. Like, so for instance, the Squad Up Summit freebies, the PDFs, he has everything down to the T. You can see in format, how to scale your digital product and how to coach, all that stuff. So social media, YouTube ads, examples, targeting your YouTube ads. I mean, you just name it. He's really done a great job. Wow, I can't believe you've done all this.
Yeah,
man.
and yeah, so I'll touch on this real quick while Javier is opening up all the tabs there. Basically, the $1 Million Vault is an ongoing project for me. I have thousands of documents, video training, templates, guides, PDFs, books, you name it. As you can see, there's some stuff in there already that I'm adding, but each week my goal is to try to add a handful of new things that I have, saved on my Dropbox. I got a terabyte worth of not only my coaching calls, when I was coaching for other programs, I have close to 1,000 recorded coaching calls with live clients, helping them with their avatar, their marketing, their message, creating graphics, lead magnets, funnel build outs, all of that. So I'll be adding all of that into the $1 Million Vault over time. But this was just some stuff that I've been putting in there that is most relevant. We did a poll and everybody wanted more ChatGPT prompts. So I just started adding everything I have on ChatGPT prompts inside the $1 Million Vault. So there's some really cool stuff in there that I am using daily for Javier, for myself, and what I also give advice on and give guidance on for people that are looking to use social media, get the traffic they need so then they can, create more deals, bring in more PMLs, whatever your goal is. But yeah, the $1 Million Vault.
Yeah. So, and then if you guys go into the Be Bold calendar as well, you'll see that we have every single week already mapped out for our Pave Our Way. Like, so this is a Tech Tuesday that he does. He's got the Zoom link here. They pop on. You guys get to see that as well. Every single Tuesday he goes live and helping you guys out. Every single Thursday, I actually go live. It's crazy. I'm about to go live in a couple of days within the community. And you can see right here, get your deal done. We talk to sellers, we do underwriting, we do everything. Anything that you guys need help on, I'm actually able to help you guys on a weekly basis and get your deal done and to the finish line, by the way. And that could be anything, direct to seller, seller finance, whatever. You can imagine I've been in the game since 2015. I've sold over $80 million in real estate, and I have done countless amounts of transactions creatively and traditionally. And right now, one of my big main focuses and exit strategies as I evolved in a real estate investor is co-living. I'm actually branching out into even bigger projects. And as I grow, I'm going to be sharing that with you guys as I continue to grow my portfolio. You guys are going to know every single thing I'm doing. And I want to talk about something real quick. You actually have the opportunity to partner with me. If you're, watch these last 3 days and you feel like, hey, you know what, this has been very overwhelming. I don't think I can do this, Javier. I completely understand. It is a lot of stuff and it could become a money pit if you don't really know what you're doing. So you guys actually have the opportunity to partner with me as a PML or a PMP, or if you have a friend that that would love to partner with me, you can refer them to me and we can give you a connector fee or whatever it is. Partnership would either be a PML or a PMP. We kind of spoke about what that would look like yesterday. So if you guys want to talk more about partnerships, you can DM me personally, and then we can go further into partnerships. But you can even see if you're local to our community, we actually run a #1 sub-2 top tier TC and Gator meetup every single month. We're actually hosting that on Thursday as well. So you can imagine all the value that we're giving to our local community. Being that you guys have been here for the last 3 days, me and Matt appreciate you guys so much. So we want to be able to gift you guys not all the freebies that we've mentioned these past 3 days, which check your email or check the side chat for the links for those. But we want to be able to gift you guys into our community on Be Bold. Typically, we charge $47 a month. Today, we're going to make you guys an offer for you guys to be able to come in our community, Be Bold Investing, for $5 to get all this. It's $5 a month for you guys to come in here, jam out with me, get ongoing support. But we're only doing it till midnight. If you guys want a freaking the ongoing support, only till midnight. We're not going to do this any longer. We're going to move it up to Matt. Can you change that to 5? Actually, it already went to 5. That's so funny, man. You're quicker.
I'm on top of it, man. I know everybody's going to want to jump on this deal, so I went ahead and updated.
Look, what we want to do, what we want to cultivate, we want to make sure that people are in here are actually taking action, just like Jessica did. Is this Jessica's? Yeah, this is like Jessica did. She had a great success story. You can see it here. Jessica took action. She came in, she rubbed elbows. This is an action sport. If you guys aren't making contact with people, you're not going to get contracts. I promise you, you're not going to get deals. Same thing. I want to be able to support you guys in that way. So if you guys want to come in, get your deals underwritten, talk to sellers, ask Rashana. Hey, Rashana, do we talk to sellers together? No, we didn't. You're shaking your head. No.
Yeah.
Did we? Yes or no? So no. So, but I want to be able to help you guys. And then, so we'll go into that later, but Matt's going to change it in at 12 tonight. If you guys want to jump in, we'd love to continue to help you guys grow. Don't wait and be an action taker today. Don't wait until my next challenge. I'm going to be doing challenges once a quarter. If you want to work with me once a quarter, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to be an action taker today and you want to take advantage of this offer, $5, you're going to get access to everything that I just showed you, plus the freebies we've given you the last 3 days. Take action now to your next step. Matt, let's get, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, for those of you that are already in the group, you don't have to worry about all this. You're already in. Some of you are already paying members. Some of you are, got in when we did our first freebie run in the beginning to get some good group action. But if you're not in the group and you want to get access to the group, it is a paid group now. It's for $5. When you join, you can see on Javier's screen where it says settings on his screen. It may be a join now button for you if you've never created a school account before. You've heard Alex Hormozy. It's becoming more popular. We're on school. We love it. There's so much great ways for us to keep the community super engaged. The guy, Javier mentioned this. This community is for you guys, right? Me and Javier are the hosts. We're going to do our best to bring good ideas, bring calls to the table, support you all. But ultimately, we want you guys to be able to connect here. And be able to stay connected and help each other get deals done, underwrite deals, do role playing if you need to. Stop by my Tuesday calls. My goal is to help everybody here level up their digital marketing presence. Because if you're trying to build a business, which you're all here trying to build a business, correct? Raise your hand or put a 1 in the chat. I know I am. I know everybody here is, right?
Okay.
You got to, if you're, Pace said this at Squad Up Summit and it hit me home because I want to start using this as well. If you're not doing digital marketing for your personal brand, for your business, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're disrespecting yourself and your business by not being present on the internet. And so my Tech Savvy Tuesdays are specifically for that, to help all of you create the necessary graphics, lead magnets, funnels, copy, anything you need help with. That's why I host that call to be a part of the group. But it's there for you guys to get better. And it's also filling in that bucket, like me and Javier said. Typically it's $47 a month, which that's very priced reasonably for the value we give. But for us, we're filling our give back bucket, which is there's a 33% rule, and I'll give this back to Javier, that I learned from Ty Lopez. 33% of my time, I'm working with people ahead of me. So in the real estate game, I'm partnered with Javier because he's showing me things that I've never seen before in real estate. So he's giving me knowledge and stuff that I just don't know, and I'm learning from him and other people that are ahead of me. Another 33% of my time I'm spending with people on the same level as me, going through the same, war trenches, trying to figure things out. And then the last 33% of my time and what I do is I want to give back. I want to give back to those trying to get to my level and beyond. And this is what this group is for me and Javier. We want to give back, and we're picking a price point. And again, for those of you here today, this is only available for you guys. Yeah. For the $5 lifetime locked in, as long as you stay active, it'll stay at $5, but at midnight it'll go back to $47, which we still think is a fair price point. But Julie, Georgiana, Eddie, Rashana, Virginia, Melanie, and a few other names that bounced out of here already. Thank you so much for being here for 3 days. We look forward to seeing you more in the community, and we also look forward to seeing your next deal. And if there's anything I can do to help, please reach out to me on Instagram or send me a message through school, and I'd love to help you in any way I can.
Sweet, man. Let's roll into the giveaway.
All right, 10K giveaway, folks. Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop Javier sharing, and we're gonna go to my screen. Okay, so everybody in the chat, you can see everything that I'm putting on here?
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Perfect. All right. So I went ahead and uploaded all the names plus the extra entries. We have about 192 entries. The good news is for those of you that are here right now, you're the only ones that are eligible to win. So if a name jumps up and they're not here. We're just going to roll it again. So what I'm going to do first before is that it's not randomized yet. So I'm going to come over here to my dice and I'm going to roll the dice and we're going to get a number. So 19 times I'm going to shuffle the names here. So count it out with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, so I randomized the names 19 times, but for those of you that went on Instagram, shared your story, got the extra 10 entries, thank you so much. Like Javier said, seeing you guys participate, seeing you guys learn something, get insights, and is big for both of us. But at the same time, I want you guys to go take action on everything you learned. Don't just sit on the information. Knowledge is great, but applied knowledge is where the power's at. All right, here we go. Everybody ready? Can I get a drum roll? Where's the drum rolls at? Anybody? Drum roll? Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Let's see who our winner for the 10K giveaway challenge.
Man,
And if they're here.
Yeah.
Because if they're not here, can't win. All right, we got Lipa Honig. And if I said that right, I don't think she's here.
Lipa. No.
Anybody?
Lipa here?
I don't think Lipa's here. I saw her, I think, yesterday, but I did not see her today, and she's not here. All right, so we're going to go again. So we're going to remove Lipa, and we're going to roll it again. Uh-oh. I feel like a game show host now.
This is pretty cool, man.
It took a little bit to put together, but it's all right. We got Jose. Where's Jose at? Oh, don't tell me Jose's not here. Oh man, Jose. Oh,
he jumped off.
Man. He dropped off. All right, we're gonna remove all of Jose's because he had about 30 entries in there. All right, we're gonna go next. How many of you are just excited right now? Like, oh, who's it gonna be? Uh-oh, we got Jimmy. Jimmy in the building. Nope, he left too.
Oh boy, remove Jimmy.
Oh man, I guess we're just gonna. Hey, we're narrowing down the pool. All right, so Rashana stuck around, Virginia stuck around, Melanie stuck around, Julie stuck around. Jose Riviera was here earlier. He's not here now. Oh man. Oh,
man. What's going on? Dude, what's going on with your wheel, bro?
Is it not working?
No, it's working. I'm just saying you're picking people that aren't here.
I know, right? But that's all right. I think, oh, there we go. There's our winner. There's our 10K winner. Julie.
Oh, Julie.
You're the 10K winner. Nice. Where's my Price is Right music? Come on down. Julie is our winner. Oh. Thank you so much for being here. Julie, just want to make sure you're clear. Thank you for everybody. Thank you all for being here. I got some of your buy boxes posted in Facebook in the free group already. There's a couple more that I need to get to for you all. So go check out your buy boxes. If there's any adjustments or anything you want me to add, just let me know. I don't mind making a readjustment for you guys. If you want a buy box graphic from me, post your buy box in the group so I can grab the information and create the graphic. And of course, for those of you that joined the Be Bold community today, stop by every Tuesday night with me, jam out. If you need more graphics, you need more things to help you in your business when it comes to digital marketing, sales funnels, automations, copy, you name it. That's where I can help you out every single week. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Julie, for your 10K giveaway, make sure you connect with myself or Javier. We're going to pick a day and time for us to schedule those 2 calls. You're going to get 12 calls with Javier, 12 calls with me. We're going to help you not only, master the real estate game from the Javier standpoint, but I'm going to help you master your social presence and your brand and your marketing stuff. And then, Julie, I don't know if you joined today, but if you did, then okay, there we go.
I'm going to send a link to
you actually get 1 free year. So, if it's up to you, but if you'd like me to, I can refund your $5 and keep you into the group. And so you don't have to pay for the rest of the year, but it's totally up to you.
Can I gift the free year to someone?
Absolutely. If you want to gift the free year to someone here, or someone even, if you want to reach out to them, just coordinate with me, put me in a 3-way chat, and I could totally gift them a full year. That's actually a wonderful thing to do.
She's here right now. Ginny.
So Virginia?
Yeah, Virginia,
right.
Sorry.
Okay, Virginia, we're going to make sure we get you access to our Be Bold investing community. I'll make sure we're going to get you a first year totally free on Julie. She gifted it away. That's awesome. I don't know how many of you here know Pace Morby. You've seen the sub 2 sign on Javier all day. Most of us have come from the sub 2 community. Julie, that was an amazing go-giver attitude. That's, we
Thanks,
love that stuff.
Julie.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
That's what Pace teaches us, and Javier and you are already doing it, so it's the least I can do. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Wonderful. So wonderful. Other than that, that's all I have. Again, you guys connect with me on Instagram. Everybody here should try to follow everybody, but we're not just here to do the event, give you information, and then let you off on your own. We'll do our best if you're not in the community to help support you, but please reach out to us. We're here. I think, this is where, like, I love taking this from a Javier, because I don't say this, but Javier does this, where empires are built in rooms like this. And thank you, Javier, for allowing me to come in and support you and help you get this up and going, because I don't have the experience or the knowledge you have on real estate and doing deals and stuff. And so I'm thankful to being able to be a part of this, launch this, but also learn so much from you. So thanks, Javier.
No, thank you so much for running all the marketing and getting all of us in this one room. Because if it wasn't for him, I'll tell you, we have probably one person here, and be me. That's about it. So, congratulations to you winners. Make sure when you get into school, you actually introduce yourself. We have an introductory post. Introduce yourself. Let people know who you are. Read their introductory post and make sure you answer all the questions. This will help people understand who you are and how they can help you. It's again, the community drives the community. It's not me and Matt. It's the community that drives the community. So welcome. I'm so glad. I hope to see the rest of you guys there. I know a couple of you guys said you're going to send out the link. I put it in the side chat, the link for our community. If you want to send it out to any of your friends and you want them to take advantage of, well, if anybody goes to our school page, actually, Matt, they're going to get it for $5.
Yeah, I told Javier, I said, we're not going to make it super crazy. We're not going to be mad if other people join at the super discounted price. It's totally up to all of you if you want to share it with folks.
So go giver mentality, guys. So if you feel that there is a friend of yours that wants to take advantage of this, you need to tell them to sign up by tonight. After that, we're switching it back to $47 a month. We're growing this community at a price point where it's affordable for everybody with tons of value. But remember, we don't want just anybody joining this community. We want to make sure people are serious about their career, their whatever they're looking to go, their investment career, or whatever they're looking to do. We want to make sure they're serious. Again, reminder, if you know somebody who wants to partner with me, if you guys want to partner with me on deals, I'm 100% open. Let's talk about it. Let's talk it through. We can partner together. We can grow this together. So, but yeah, so thank you so much again for you guys tuning in. This has been fantastic. Julie, I think that was awesome. You giving away your membership into the community. It's so nice. I love seeing that. This is what we cultivate. We cultivate go-givers, go-getters, and action takers. So let's continue to build this. I really appreciate all the feedback from you guys, and I hope this was super valuable. And Matt, I think, is that it for now? And we're gonna jam off here. I'm actually jumping on a podcast here in 3 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So everybody, thank you for being here. For those of you that are in the community, all the replays from the past 3 days are already in the classroom. We're going to get today's in there tonight. So if there's anything Javier went over that you need more in depth on from these calls, they're going to be there right there for you. And of course, you'll have Javier on Thursdays for clarifying questions, and take advantage of those calls. He's got about 3 to 5 people on average each week right now. So before the community gets too big, you can steal 1 to 2 hours of Javier's time every week on Thursday nights. So, I definitely take advantage of those Thursday night calls.
And then if you're local to Orlando, or if you're ever visiting Orlando, we do a once a month meetup. We have about 50 to 60 people show up every single month. So if you guys are ever in the area, reach out to us. Or if you're in the community, we always have the link posted in the calendar section where you can see exactly when we're meeting up. You can also sign up for our reminders where we will remind you every single month when we're doing our meetups.
All right, folks. Thank you so much. Go enjoy your Wednesdays.
I'm drinking some water.
And we'll see you guys inside the community. Take care.
All right, guys. Take care.